Cancel culture is about canceling it.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records they sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
Never pay to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final in terrorist groups like
We'll see council. They want you to comply.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. Hello again to Lance's audience. Nice to see everybody. Hope you had a wonderful week.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Went by quickly, I feel like.
It did go by quickly. There was so much shit happening, and I didn't even get to make a video about whether or not Mitch McConnell is dead, which was on my to-do list, but we still don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to go down the rabbit hole. I just didn't get the chance to, but we have no clarification. Every Republican is saying that they've spoken to him. Not every, I should be clear. Scott Jennings and I think GOP leadership and Jack Kimball, Representative Jack Kimball, GOP parody account on Twitter, said they spoke to him for 45 minutes, and CNN actually showed his tweet. It was so funny. Parody account, not real.
Oh, the parody account. Yeah.
But yeah, we still don't know.
Isn't there reporting that he's brain dead?
He's medically brain dead, I think, at this point.
I think that's the most likely situation.
Yeah.
And that they don't, I guess, I don't know, there's speculation that Trump doesn't want this out because then it causes mayhem, I guess, in terms of how his seat is replaced. Because the governor does that, right? Is that how that works?
Mike, you'd have to explain. Can you be in a coma perpetually forever and still stay on as a lawmaker if you aren't recalled? Like, is that?
It's like that's like 1/3 of the Senate already, though.
It's a little bit complicated. So I was not aware of this, but apparently Republicans passed the law so that way the governor cannot replace the sitting senator. And I think that they did this before Bashir took over. So in the likely event Mitch McConnell died, there would not be a Democratic replacement for at least a couple of months. And in the event there is a special election, it would just be like, let's say we hold it tomorrow. Well, the person who gets sworn in would only be there until January, because there's already a primary taking place with Charles Booker on the Democratic side, or a general election taking place with Charles Booker, and then the Republican, who I don't know who the new Republican is. So it's kind of a messed up situation. I don't know what they do. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass to hold a special election, but if he's not able to be there, then what even do you do at this point? I truly don't know. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference when it comes to policy, because Mitch McConnell wouldn't be like that missing vote that they need to pass the SAVE Act, for example, which is a voter suppression law. So I think they're just going to let it roll. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to have to hold a special election for like a seat for 3 months or 4 months or whatever. And they're just like, fuck it. We can Bernie's this bitch. Like that's really what it seems like they're doing. I've seen somebody posted a photo. I don't know who it was, just going around of Mitch McConnell like hooked up to a bunch of tubes. I think that's not real. I think that's AI generated. That's what nurses are saying, who are like, the tubes don't go anywhere. It looks fake. So we clearly don't have any confirmation, no proof of life whatsoever, with the exception of some Republicans saying, yeah, I talked to him. And as somebody were pointing out in the chat, maybe they were talking to him via a Ouija board. Maybe he's astral projecting somewhere. But in the event he were awake, he would be able to present like proof of life. He'd call into CNN or Fox News or whatever. So I think that the likely situation is that he's hooked up to a machine, and the second they unplug it, he goes to meet with the devil. I don't know what else could be. Again, it's conjecture because we have no idea, but just the way that there's zero transparency, Trump doesn't even know. Apparently, the governor of Kentucky has no idea. So this is such a funny situation. And I'm so mad I didn't get to talk about it this week.
Yeah, that one's funny. I didn't get to talk about Lord Binhead. I don't know if you saw. Nigel Farage is potentially about to lose his race to a garbage can. Then normally that would be the funnest and funniest thing to talk about.
I didn't know. I heard he was like in some race for some reason. I thought he was already.
Yeah, so he's embroiled in this wild scandal where he basically took enormous cryptocurrency bribes to the tune of like 5 or 9 million pounds each, and they were coming from some person in another country. So basically, an international investor was trying to bribe a potential, prime minister candidate. And so when that came out, massive scandal, he decides, you know what, I'm going to run for by-election in this like little teeny area, which he was like guaranteed to win. And all the other parties pulled out, because they're just like, we don't want to be a part of your like spectacle where you're trying to get away with trying to like brush off this bribe and all this kind of stuff. So he's left unopposed except for Lord Binface. And because Lord Binface has been like not standing down and getting more airtime, now it's become a movement where everyone wants to see Lord Binface beat Nigel Farage in that writing. He's got momentum. Yeah.
British humor never fails.
Oh, yeah, you should really watch the BBC interview. He actually crushes it. Like, his platform is better than Nigel Farage's. And it's like, what's your platform? I'm not Nigel Farage.
Really? Yeah, I would love to see it.
He's right. He's not Nigel Farage. That's better. Also, he plans to build one affordable house, just one, but that's better than Nigel Farage. He's going to nationalize Adele, which I thought that was a great idea too. I was like, that's pretty lefty.
It's Count Binface, by the way.
Oh, sorry, Count. Sorry, my apologies.
Count Binface.
Count Binface. Yes. Okay.
My apologies, Count. But nationalizing Adele is a pretty good policy. I think.
Thanks to Unknown for pointing that out. Count Binface. Yeah. We have a Lord Buckethead, but they're different people. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Here's
I was not
Count
aware.
Binface.
Yeah.
Okay. But like, what? is this legal? Because if a parody candidate wins, what happens next?
I don't know. I don't even know if his policies are pretty out there, right? So.
Oh, there's a furry too.
Yeah.
Is the furry an ally or an opponent?
I don't know.
Good question. I don't know.
I only watched the video by Owen Jones on Count Binface today.
Next to Labour is Andy Burnham and a protective British wildlife candidate at the count for last month's.
Okay, so I guess
Makerfield. Okay, by election.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
By the way, everybody, we have Zed Tabani popping in today, and Ariana should also be here as well. We haven't heard from Matt, but we expect him to be here at some point too. So yeah, we should have a pretty stacked show today.
Mm-hmm. Too bad there's nothing to talk about. So
I'm so thankful. Yeah, it's just been a really slow week. So
there's nothing happening, man.
Yeah.
Really quiet.
No drama ripping apart the totality of our entire force and all of our colleagues.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a couple of things that we can look at. We've been talking about, the fuckery on the Democratic side, but I just want to take some time to highlight the Republicans because like a month or so ago, Kyle Clark, he did an interview with this Republican candidate named Victor Marx, who is just batshit fucking insane. And I have some clips to show you. But I'm not going to bury the lead. This person won the GOP primary. So he is the gubernatorial candidate in Colorado for Republicans. And the shit this guy talks about, let me bring in some clips because you have to see it to believe it. I know some people already know about him. I don't think we talked about him on Leftist Mafia yet. I know I haven't covered him on my show. This man is truly just a gem. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, David, can you remove your... Oh, there we go. That should do it. Okay.
You're an author.
Okay, hang on. I want to... Oh, okay. So Kyle Clark has all of the different highlights from his interview. I'm just going to press play, and you take from this what you will.
The stories that you tell about your life and your accomplishments are extraordinary. How much of it's true?
All of it.
You describe yourself as a high-risk missionary, a renowned martial artist, you're a ministry leader, you're a speaker, you're an author. What qualifies you to be the governor of Colorado?
I'd say first is, what are the qualifications to be governor?
I've yet to look it up.
The main one for me, you first got to care for people. You got to truly care for Coloradans. And then it's a CEO position. It's not a legislator. And that matters to be able to build teams out, probably assign the right people in the right positions to help run the state. And that's one of the things I do well.
Okay, that's just a small little taste. Okay.
He almost seems like AI.
Part of it is because of his mustache. If you look at how overgroomed his mustache is, it looks fake, like it could be AI. Okay, so let's get into his life story. He claims he saved 45,000 women and children. We'll just start there. I'm just going to go in chronological order.
What?
And by the way, I'm sorry, this is super soft. I can't make it any louder in StreamYard, so just...
yeah, I was going to see. Oh, no, we can't.
Maybe you can boost it, but...
Your campaign website falsely claimed that you had rescued more than 45,000 women and children, and that claim has since been taken down. How many women and children have you rescued from captivity and abuse?
We've never publicly given the number out for security reasons, and we don't have a need to. I would say it's more than one and less than a bunch.
Giving a number would put people in danger.
Yes.
You certainly do use specific rescue numbers, though, when you feel that it suits your purposes. You wrote in February of this year, just last month, our team rescued 43 children from the grips of evil predators. Where did that rescue of 43 children happen?
In the U.S., and that was by, through, and with law enforcement, through a special operations that we do with protecting children's innocence.
Are you referring to Operation Northern Lights in Florida?
Yes.
Okay. So the U.S. Marshals named 25 partner agencies, including 2 rescue ministries that were involved in that operation. They said nothing about you and your ministry. But you're claiming credit for those 43 rescues? They didn't even mention you.
Does that mean we didn't help them?
No, I'm just curious why you think that is.
He's great, isn't he?
We don't require that we be listed or named in any operations.
What is the proof that you have rescued?
Kind of by definition, actually.
Well, I just walked you through our training center.
You show me your own photographs.
Yeah.
Which are not proof of anything other than the fact that you took a photo with someone.
People believing it or not, it has no bearing on our work.
Let me throw out another theory and you can tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
What if the reason that you won't say how many women and children that you've rescued is because that number is actually quite small? But admitting that would hurt your fundraising. And now it would hurt your political campaign. So you cite individual stories of rescues, this one story in depth, this one story in depth, and then you tie those individual anecdotes together with big numbers, like we've helped 45,000 women and children. And if people think that your operation is bigger and more impactful than it is, it helps you financially, and it now helps you politically.
I don't think that's true. And whether people think we rescued 1 or 100 or 300 or 3,000, I think the response is still going to be the same. We're doing the work that we say we do.
Okay.
Just the same.
I might want to skip one. Okay. So I wanted to get to this.
Can I ask a quick question? So what's
Absolutely.
what's his deal? Does he claim that he directly works with law enforcement to catch pedophiles internationally? And like, does he? How is he and his ministry involved in that?
I honestly don't know, because my theory is that he is just trying to flood the zone with shit, because as you're going to see throughout this interview, he makes so many fucking claims about his talent, about a bunch of things he's accomplished, and there's little evidence for most of them, with the exception of one. He claimed, which is such a weird thing to say, right? It's like, this is a dude thing to say. I'm the fastest. I hold the record of like the fastest gun disarmer. That one is true. I don't know if he holds the record, but he can do it very fast. There's videos of him be like taking a gun from somebody. So because he has, the cred in that regard, maybe he thinks people will take him seriously on other things. But then there's things he says that it's like, wait, if this is true, that's actually very troubling. Like this video. So he's asked about how he was forced to kill a man at the age of 7. And this is the one that's going the most viral for obvious reasons, but it's still very
7.
I would argue that there's other things that are funnier about him that I don't want to spoil for you, but let me let you see what he says about the life he took at 7 and the possibility of him taking other lives. Just listen to this.
Your claim that your abusive stepfather forced you to kill a man when you were 7 years old, is that the only person you've ever killed?
Well, I would say as a child, yes.
It's like he's like parodying the candidate.
Okay, you like what the fuck?
Well, how do you answer the question like that?
As a result of me defending myself in other countries.
Do you think that you've killed people as an adult?
Does it matter?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Why?
Killing somebody's a pretty weighty thing.
If someone's trying to kill you or you're in combat,
it's still a weighty thing to somebody else's life. I mean, it could be self-defense, it could be justified, but it's still a weighty thing. So I'm just asking you, how many people have you killed?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't be telling a reporter.
Of course, naturally.
My training center.
How about voters? Would you tell voters?
It's beautiful.
There's no need. I don't think that's important. It's actually kind of, it's an odd question to me.
Because you actually talk about the idea of killing people with some frequency, and why it's a necessary thing to do, killing people. You said on NRA TV in 2017, now a lot of them just got to be killed. I've had them shoot at me and I had to shoot back. There's a time and place to eliminate the enemy, and you have to. You said on Jeff Lerner's podcast in 2025, some people have to get killed. Some people have to die. But it's an odd question to ask you how many people you've killed.
Yes.
You claim that you once called in a U.S. military airstrike that killed 70 ISIS fighters. I didn't realize that civilians could facilitate military airstrikes. Could you walk me through how that worked?
No.
What?
Yeah, that's just he just drops that in there.
May I see it?
He just walks in off the street. Strike right there. Boom. Yeah. Got them all. Like, what the hell?
This is so good. Okay, we're getting to one of my favorite parts. This one is, it's a minute. Okay. So this is a potential murder that he was referring to earlier.
When you say the words, we caught them, do you mean your team caught them or you watched the Border Patrol catch them?
We identified them. We were by ourselves, and then we brought in Border Patrol.
And then you said, quote, we made them pay a price. What was the price that you made them pay?
Consequences through the Border Patrol.
Last night when you told the same story at your town hall, you said, we caught guys bringing kids in, they got their feelings hurt. You use that phrase, hurting people's feelings, frequently for acts of violence, right? Beating somebody up, shooting somebody, killing somebody. Did any of those things happen to those smugglers that you caught when you said they got their feelings hurt?
I believe when I use the term feelings hurt, that could literally mean hurting someone's emotional feelings and sometimes other things. But we were not involved in any acts of violence against those traffickers.
Okay. Now we get to the exorcism part. This is my favorite part.
Of course.
Because he actually, I don't even, I just want to, it's funnier to let you discover. I don't need to say that. Just watch it. Just watch it.
You perform exorcisms, commanding demons to come out of people. Can you explain to me how that works?
I don't command the demons to come out of someone. I think of them as assignments or attachments.
Oh, somebody was going to say, come on.
And we identify the demon, like Jesus did. We ask what their name is, and then we give them commands. And they very frequently and typically will answer. Through the person's mind, they'll tell us what they hear, and then we destroy them, banish them to perfect judgment from Christ.
You also perform these exorcisms by phone. Are those just as effective?
They are.
Where does the demon go at the end of the exorcism?
We send them to the footstool of Jesus Christ, who we believe is sitting at the right hand of the Father, who then absolutely gives them perfect judgment of what happens.
You don't charge for the exorcisms, right?
No.
Okay. But they were part of the how-to guide that was available on your website for $99, the Spiritual Warfare Guide with battle tools and resources. It's no longer available on the site.
Well, I think that's a film, and it's always, whatever we have posted with that was, you can pay $1.99, but we've never charged. I've never looked at a person and asked for remuneration for casting demons to Christ or praying for someone.
Do you understand why so many of your critics think you're a con man?
No.
That's the only way to answer
I like how that question comes after the exorcisms part, because that's just
yeah.
He seems
And
the most fake there.
And he thought about it. No, it doesn't make me a con man. I don't see why they think so. By the way, we have our special guest today. It is Zed Tabani. Zed, welcome back.
Hello.
What's up? What's up? I'm still fucking guffawing at that last clip right now. Oh my god, that guy. I don't know. They hate. They hate me because they ain't me. What a fucking clown that guy is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
His face also looks like just perfectly like rectangular, like it was made in one of those fucking square Jesus, man.
Brave little toaster ass head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the GOP nominee for Colorado governor.
Oh, that's right. Wait, no, he's the
won.
nominee? I thought he was just a weird, oh, no fucking way.
Yeah, so it's honestly, if the Democrats...
Is that the guy who was like, yeah, I killed he killed people?
Yes.
He was like, that guy's fucking insane. What the fuck?
Yeah, he won that primary.
Like, is it a crime if the crimes are made up? Like, if it's just in his head, is it still like? Can you just walk around being like, "I murdered 1,000 people"? But
personally, I draw the line at Blackwater mercenary who was a guard at Abu.
Hey, not everyone's here yet.
That's me personally.
You can't say that yet. You have to wait till everybody's here.
I'm sorry. I don't know who we're talking about. I'm talking about a fictional candidate that doesn't exist.
Right.
I don't know what you're thinking of, But no, that's crazy. That guy's fucking insane.
Yeah.
So who's he going up against?
So he won. He won against he was he endorsed? No, Trump endorsed the other guy, didn't he?
I don't remember who Trump endorsed. I know his Democratic opponent is actually really progressive and good.
Bill Weiser?
Yeah,
is that who it is?
Yeah, is that his name? Phil Weiser? Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, but he was
Phil
endorsed
Weiser,
by David Sirota.
Dude, there's a lot of it's kind of interesting because I've been looking at like polling and everything like that over the last year, especially with like how the generic ballot is versus like where, because I'm still on that kick of like we're repeating 2005, so I'm looking at like generic ballot versus like actual results. Democrats are running like on average like a plus. Well, specifically, progressive candidates are running a plus 14 to plus 20, like difference between what the polls are saying, and the generic ballot for Democrats is down, which kind of is lower than it has been in other like wave years, which kind of shows people are fucking mad at this party, but don't which is kind of like so many people are like, well, I don't know if they're going to take. I'm pretty sure the Democrats will take the Senate and the House, but I don't think that party leadership. I think the writing is so on the wall for everybody who is at all like involved in and around party leadership with this shit. And then especially with like because Malat Kiros is from was that in Colorado as well?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Like that's a huge like fucking. So I don't. You guys have probably already talked about it, but that was like that was the big. I was like, whoa, okay, like writing is very much so on the wall. And then also a lot of Trump's candidates are losing. Like he hasn't had a perfect track record this year with some of his endorsements.
Yeah, I'm not as optimistic as you. I think they'll probably take back the House. I'm much less bullish on the Senate, we'll say. But I like the positivity, and I hope that's the case. My only fear is that the Trump, like the MAGA chuds, like the diehards, might turn out during the midterm special elections. Sure, Democrats win, but it depends on whether or not the Trump chuds are going to turn out. Maybe they don't turn out as much in special elections. They're less galvanized. It's really hard to say. And I'm just, I'm so cynical, and we've seen so many elections like go south when you expect it to go one way that I'm kind of like clenched in my butt cheeks either way, but just like really hoping that, Republicans lose as much power as they possibly can.
I don't know. I don't want to say it's a certain thing, but I do think that like a state that people aren't looking at as much as they should is like, because my girlfriend is from there, and her father was involved in politics around there, is Iowa. A lot of people I think are underestimating like how, I mean, Iowa still is right of everything that like they're not going to be like the most progressive Democrats you get, or like we're still far away from, them accepting certain realities, but like there's a lot of Iowa really, really doesn't like, Trump. Iowa politics especially is very like angry at the way things have gone. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Part of that makes sense to me, honestly. A lot of it is, it comes down to how Trump fucked over farmers. And I think that's really going to come back to bite him in the ass because, it's not like the last time when he fucked over farmers. This time he fucked over farmers. So, it's possible that that's enough, but who knows? Again, if you voted for Trump in 2024, odds are your brain isn't capable of like adapting to new realities. It's just, I don't know. I stopped trying to predict American outcomes because
I think you're cynical. I think you're cynical right now, mainly because you've not seen enough Blackwater mercenaries run for seats. Okay. So like, listen, if we just give it some time, maybe more will jump in. Maybe some from, that's the last one I'll make until more people come in. So
on that note, Kowalski says that Iowa and Nebraska are the two states suffering the most from the agricultural shit Trump is doing. Trump has done. Low turnout from farmers and ranchers is almost certain. Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing to keep in mind. That's a really great point because, I mean, it was the farmers who were speaking out the most, especially when the tariffs hit and China stopped buying soybeans. You saw these Republican-ass farmers on Fox News, CNN, every single network they could get on saying, this is terrible. We're losing our biggest customer, which is China. So we'll see if that actually has any sticking power. On top of that, there's also just like the gas prices from the Iran war. Americans, they're against war, but it's the effect on them that really hurts them.
Gas hit like I'm a dipshit with an electric car, but my gas it hit $8.50 in Los Angeles like 2 weeks ago.
Holy shit!
It went down since then, but there was a point where we were driving and I was like, "What the? It's $8.50. That's fucking insane."
Yeah,
it's crazy.
What's that in liters? Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah, I have no context for American gas. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's
50 a gallon to liters.
Gallon in liters. I don't believe in the metric system. Like I don't believe in.
You're asking us with our American educations to answer this question.
Yeah, exactly.
That's unfair. That's biased.
Can I just glaze the panel real quickly? Like
you absolutely can, please.
All three of you dropped videos in the last 2 weeks. Like the all the videos you guys have dropped in the last 2 weeks
318
have been just like I've been on like a hiking kick because I'm trying to lose. I'm down 13 pounds, which is great. But
Hell
like
yeah.
I've been just basically throwing on David Dole, Humanist Report, and the Surfs, and you guys have just been fire for the last like
thank
3
you.
weeks. Yeah, as opposed to
thanks.
every other time. But that last 2 weeks you've been killing. No, I mean, like honestly,
So
some of the best work I've seen you guys do. It's awesome.
Wow.
And like
So
needed
318 leader.
commentary.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Of
you
course.
saying that.
Of course.
Did
It's
you
good
watch?
to have the
Did you watch
validation.
my video cosplay cowboy where Pierre Polyev looks like a
Yeah.
hilarious cowboy dressed all in white?
That's great. When you I saw the video, I saw the thumbnail, I was like, that guy's still alive? Like,
Yeah.
He
He's
lost
still
his
here?
seat during the election, got someone else in his party to leave their seat so he could take it over, like one of the most
That's
conservative
fuck-
writings in the
what a-
country.
What a chud,
And yeah, he's
dude.
still going
That guy
around.
Sucks.
He
That guy
sucks, but our actual prime minister is trying to pull us into your war, so that sucks more.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
worse.
NATO
the
right
person
now.
with actual power, you could argue, is worse because he has power.
First off,
Carney is
we
worse.
want everybody. We want every like our war is like a party. We have it every like 10 to 15 years, and then we act like we did nothing wrong, even though we globally fucked over everything, and then we'll fund another few when that gets done. Well, we have to pay through the ass for gas prices some more. Do you hear about the Nigel Farage fighting a guy with like a dumpster bin on his head?
We talked about that, yeah.
Oh my god, dude,
Count
that's
Thin
fucking
Face?
sending me.
Count Thin Face, that's it. Yeah. And he
Really
has
beautiful.
beneficence, what he calls it. His beneficence.
How close to Farage is like Pierre Polyev, like in terms of like how bad it? Because I think Farage is like a
like how right wing
Farage
he
is,
is. He's uniquely
well, I mean, like in
Canadian.
Farage, Farage is more openly racist, I think, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would, as an outsider, it seems like that to me at least.
On a scale from Dick Cheney to Donald Trump, how is Pierre
Pierre's
Polyev
trying
Nigel
out
Farage?
the like American culture war talking points right now. So he's trying to do the like we are warriors, we're not woke, and
No
like,
more
they're
woke. We
too
need more, warrior culture, not woke culture. Like it's really
it's
stupid, like lame.
because
That's
like
exhausting,
Millhouse can't go hard, it doesn't work. So
Yeah.
you just come on, dude.
He doesn't
also
have the
he's
riz.
very fake too. Like it's hard
Yeah.
No
to
Riz.
hear him.
Non-existent Riz.
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
these
there's
people.
nothing that would like scream authenticity about that guy, throwing out some alpha male talking points. It screams fake, and you have low self-esteem, and you're trying to make up for something by talking that way. What are you doing? What the fuck? You're a poser.
He also has he's been in parliament for like 20 years. He has a record of supporting, corporations, the wealthy, voting against working class, against unions, and now he's playing this like working class persona guy. Like it doesn't. Anyone that knows anything
What
about
is
him, it's
Mike's
so fake.
away image right now?
Oh, that's him and the one and only Carrie.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh
haven't
my
seen that. Said
god,
that for a
that's
while.
amazing.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I'm behind. I heard this thing from I think it was either the Daily or Jon Stewart or somebody else say like when they had met a bunch of people who were like when he was talking about he has a big kick about like just the political world in that industry, and he was saying that a lot of these people are like people who wanted to be, I mean, we've talked about like who wanted to be actors or like celebrities, and then we're just like, well, this isn't fucking working, let's just go into politics, right? Because it's the same kind of like attention economy. But I feel like a lot of them misunderestimated how like the back, because when you're a big thing in acting with charisma, there's always like a backlash factor to that. And I think a lot of them underestimated the exhaustion people have with seeing your face so much that they're just they're tired of you, I think there's that. And also I'm just thinking in my head, like, is there anybody like, I kind of wonder what like a Pierre Polyev stan looks like how depressing your life has to be where you're like, yeah, this is my guy.
I don't even know if that person exists. Like to your first point, I think that's what happened with Trudeau. Like, not to say there aren't reasons to not like Trudeau.
No,
but
100%.
I think over 10 years, people were just like, all right, I can't even hear this person speak. He sounds so terrible. Like, just his cadence is annoying.
It's exhausting. Yeah.
Because they replaced him with somebody like worse, and he won in a landslide. It really was about the person up top. I mean, the other part of that whole thing was, of course, Trump came in, and then, you have Pierre Polyev aligned essentially, at least the way it was presented, aligned with like the Trump side, and people like really in Canada, of course, did not like Trump during that election. So it was a
but
clear,
it's
vote
It's
against
also
it.
heavily on vibes too, because I feel like not that people don't look at a lot of people don't look at policy, but people when they're angry look at policy, and like a lot of the times, like there's such an air of like people just searching out who's inauthentic, that a lot of the tried and true kind of talking points that have gone on are just like, maybe I'm preaching to the choir, but they're just kind of like falling flat, like across the board. I think globally at this point.
That's pretty much the log line to our show. Preaching to the choir. Leftist Mafia.
Preaching to the choir. Welcome to the Leftist Mafia. Hey, what do you guys think of leftism? It's great. All right.
I support leftism personally. There may be some disagreement in the chat.
Chat's not for socialism.
Some moles.
The chat is all ardent capitalists who are like, you know what?
Hey.
2028.
Hi.
Hey, Ariana.
Hello.
So you're here. We don't know where Matt is. Matt is
where's Matt?
later than usual, and we haven't heard from him. Was he on Majority Report today?
I have no idea, but I have some things to say to the chat.
Okay.
Now that I'm here.
Oh, before you say that, your microphone is the wrong one.
It's showing me it's the right one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's my internet that's making it sound muffled. My apologies then.
No,
it
you're
did,
fine.
it did sound like it was a little bit.
It did. Okay.
Tinky or something. Or
Is it better now?
Yeah.
I'm just letting people know that I'm eating homemade biryani while
That looks amazing. I was going to ask you what that was.
It's homemade biryani for me to lose weight with, so it's good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you
Sounds
guys the
amazing.
recipe.
Yes,
Nice.
please do. I have a good Indian place near me. And it's
That's
delicious.
awesome. You should also know that most Indian moms and aunts will tell you that it's a special recipe, but it's just shan masala they get from the store. I know it.
Oh, really?
It's all awesome.
I'm glad to hear that's the same thing in all cultures.
Yeah.
This is my homemade recipe. It's from the back of a box. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks. My mom,
That's nice.
I asked my mom to come up one time and make us biryani. And I was like, I'd gotten like all the onions and everything like that. It's like, we can't use this. And we went and we got store-bought like fried onions to put in it. And I was like, and all these like store-bought like pre-made things. And I was like, this tastes like so much better than all this fresh shit that I got. What am I doing?
All right, Ariana, take it away.
Ariana, you spit. Go ahead.
Hello. So I just want to say that 2 months ago, the chat really roasted the fuck out of me because I said that I don't like Graham Plattner, I don't trust him, and I will not endorse him or support him. You guys fucking dragged my balls through shard glass for it. So I would just like to say that I would accept apologies in $5 and plus super chats. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have been waiting to come on here and say that.
First off, Ariana, I take offense to that. First, are you telling me that like do you doubt the veracity of a Blackwater mercenary? They seem so trustworthy all the time.
I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't have taken him being a rape. First of all, like, y'all really thought Blackwater mercenary was just gonna stop at killing. Okay. But it really shouldn't have been rape that, it should have been many of other things. But
It should have been
I
Black
accept
Wall mercenary like fucking 10 months ago. But
so I accept apologies and super chats. Thank you very much, because y'all had a lot to say. You guys had a lot to say on my name. You guys were dragging me, and I'm waiting for the super chats to come in because it was abuse. It was verbal abuse, and I feel like I deserve emotional compensation. Thank you very much. That's it.
I think
That's
you should
all
be
my
like, you should do like, there was a point where like right after the Drake beef, I was on a podcast and FD Signifier was just wearing sunglasses. Like, I fucking told you he's going to lose. I fucking told you this guy was fake. I feel you should just be on here just wearing sunglasses, just being like, all like, yeah, what do you have to say now? What do you have to fucking say now after this shit?
Yeah, and to add to your note, Ariana, that's I think that's the thing that really bothered me the most, is that if you look at like all the people who were really gung-ho on Plattner and all the people who were like, fuck this guy, it's not coincidental that it was like all the white people were pro Plattner and all the people of color, especially like black people and Middle Eastern people were like opposed to Plattner. And I feel like that really requires some self-reflection from the left, the white left, because it kind of like, to me, my biggest sticking point is that it feels like a really bad look, just terrible optics that, you know, a lot of white leftists are like, it's fine if he kills brown people, but I draw the line at him having a white victim. It just reads as tone deaf. It reads as there's no international solidarity. Middle Eastern people are going to think that we're self-interested. We just want to throw them under the bus if it means we get, you know, things we want, like Medicare for all. And I just feel like if there's ever a situation again where you really see this demographic split, we need to look at that and really sit with like the ramifications of that. And that's not to say, like, I want to be very clear. I'm not like, hey, I'm Mr. White Savior. I have fucked up myself. I did not take the red flags of Fetterman seriously. There were serious red flags. He chased down a black guy with a gun when he was the mayor, and, you know, he harassed him and whatnot. And to me, I kind of brushed that aside, and I was just like, yeah, you know, that's problematic. Hopefully that was a one-off, but you have to understand these things aren't one-offs. And if a community is telling you, hey man, there's more there, you really should listen. And it's not like, you know, this is going to give us all the tools we need to learn and grow. It's going to give us some, but we're going to fuck up in the future. But I just feel like as a community, we need to have a little bit more solidarity and try our best to not shut each other out and like jump on bandwagons and, you know, shout down people, especially like comrades of color, because it was really disappointing. And it made me feel like, man, the left is, no, I'm not. Okay. So for this comment here, I do want to address this. I'm not calling Plattner supporters racist. What I'm saying is that as white people, we have blind spots that people of color don't have.
I'm calling this guy an idiot. That's what I'm.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty clear.
Fucking thing you went to. What is your hearing? Please learn media. Like after all the fucking thing after everything he just said, after all the news, you're like calling Plattner supporters racist. Please leave. Find another hobby. The fuck? I'm sorry, I don't want to fucking push people away from your stream, but like, what the fuck? You gave a very coherent answer to what was going on, and that's the first fucking thing that came up. Here's the thing. Unlike Ariana, because I was worried, there are certain people who are brown who are worried because of these kind of responses, who talk about things, who are like, I feel wary about this guy. I don't feel like I trust him, but I don't trust any politician, right?
Yeah.
But like, that's because a lot of brown people are afraid sometimes we operate off of survival because of how shitty this stuff is. I grew up post 9/11. My life is like, I don't want people to know that I'm Muslim, and if they do, I'm in danger. That has been my life until only like a lot of the last 10 years where I figured shit out. So it's fucking, hi Matt, how are you? But it's fucking crazy to me that literally, like, the white guy who looks like the most that he could be a fitness influencer on this podcast is literally telling you, hey, we can do better. And the first thing is like calling all Plattner supporters racist. Fuck you. Like, fuck you with the freest of fuck yous I can give you. I'm not trying to diss all the chat, but that is not what he is saying. He is saying that everybody is susceptible to propaganda, which is just fucking true. Even me and Ariana is susceptible. You think that Indian people don't see cologne and contemplate it every 5.5 minutes? Like, everybody is susceptible to some sort of propaganda that they're like. I saw this TikTok today, and it was some guy, a little bit tone deaf, but he was saying like how specific demographics of people respond to selling. And one of the things he was saying, like, a lot of times when you're selling to white people, if you just try to relate with them and like validate them and you're like the same as them, then they're like, oh, that's great, right? They want everybody to be the same as them, right? And that just seems like true. Plattner is the same, and so you have to feel the same about him, where you're like an enemy or you're in danger. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means it's a thing that fucking happens when improper candidates are brought forth. If there's a brown person that comes in front of me and other brown people who looks like us, we're gonna relate to them, and it's on us to be careful about it. I like Zoran Mamdani a lot, but I can't not criticize him for certain things when he does things wrong, because that's just me playing into my bias. So similarly, if Plattner is a fucking Blackwater mercenary, it has so many problems, even outside of like what you think of his policies. As a candidate, he's dog shit. Like in the terms of like balls and strikes for candidacy, he's dog shit. So I'm sorry, I'm going off on this, but that's fucking crazy. Somebody would take your words out of context like that, Mike.
Yeah, and
you could be able to understand that, like, and look in on yourself for that shit.
I'm saying this about myself too, to be clear. Like, I am a white dude who has a very white experience, and for example, like my experience is going to be colored by my own lived experience. One example that took me to really realize how bad cops were was that, like, there was a particular area that I would drive through, and I'd never, ever seen a cop there. And it wasn't until a family member who was not a white person drove through that same area and said, I get pulled over there every single time. And to me, that's where, you know, one of the first few times it's like, oh, this is what happens. Like, this is the difference between my interactions with police and people who are not white and their interactions with police. It takes like learning from different people who have different experiences. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that like every white person is evil automatically, although some, so I think that individuals like that person is kind of echoing what Ryan Grimm said, that like, hey, this is, the left having to confront their anti-white bigotry or whatever. Like, that is stupidity that needs to be addressed, and we shouldn't be talking about like anti-white racism on the left. Just like, if you do that, you're stupid.
To be completely clear, he also compared coming out of the closet as like, a homosexual to coming out as a white person in progressive spaces. And I was like,
who are we talking about?
Ryan Grimm.
Yeah. I should just play the clip because we
But even that, like,
I want to finish this point though. Hold on, it's like people can get killed for that shit. It's so wild that he had that take, and then he tried to get ahead of it, and then he tried to do this entire thing where it's like these are comparable situations, and I was like, no one in the history of organizing has been like, I'm white, and then someone be like, oh shit, are you serious? Changes everything.
I'm completely lost. I have no idea what's going on right now.
I've never heard this Ryan Grimm quote.
Yeah, and to be very clear, just to preface this, I love Ryan Grimm. Everybody go subscribe to Drop Site News. Amazing journalism there. On domestic issues, I think sometimes his commentary is ass.
There was that one clip of Emma too that started going around too, and like, mind you, I love Emma, but what she said was a bit diabolical. I was like, oh.
But no, I will defend Emma on that point, because she was making a larger point that she doesn't care what you believe in your personal life. It matters how you vote as a politician. When you're a politician, she views politicians, and I view this the same way, as a tool. As long as you're a reliable tool for the correct positions, then it doesn't matter what you believe in your heart, because we can never really know that anyways. That's the point she was trying to make. Obviously, maybe it came off a little weird using the Nazi example.
I'm not sure which one we're referring to.
She basically said that she doesn't care if a politician is a Nazi as long as they, I'm paraphrasing, as long as they go into like their job and they vote properly on like bills.
She was saying, I don't care if Bernie or AOC are secret Nazis as long as they vote the right way. And basically, but it was a larger point about how politicians are tools and not like.
Listen, I get all of that. I really do. And I really like Emma. I really do. I look up to her. This is not a slight against her at all whatsoever. I've met her in person. I think she's great. I just that's one of those takes that like, I'm sorry. I can't.
It's a tone deaf take. I love Emma too. Yeah.
But I mean,
I've said tone deaf shit
too. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter what a politician actually believes when it comes down to it. Like, the common refrain is, oh, that person's really.
But you don't know what. But you don't know what's actually in their mind or their heart.
Someone you like right now could be the most racist person in their private life, and you don't know. I mean, that's the point.
You don't want an administration filled with Nazis.
The issue
but they vote that way. They vote as Nazis. They act as Nazis. Like that. There's a difference between the whole point. The whole point is politicians are tools for the vote.
It's not that it's a realistic scenario. The point is that it doesn't matter how someone feels in their heart if they're a politician. What matters is what they actually do with their role as a politician to help people.
I think the context is understood. I think the context of the thing is understood, but the way it was expressed, but the way it was expressed was tone deaf. And I think I think that's the kind of point.
Like, I'm not stupid. I understand what she's trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. It's just like also a bit of an insane thing to say when a lot of your viewers are people of color and marginalized people.
Also, but
right, it wasn't the best example, but the point remains, I think.
The point remains, but the general trap, I think, especially in this era of politics, is we're in a point where we're just in the audacity economy, right? Where we have to say crazy things to get attention. And even if it's a salient point, the way she was making it, that's specifically structured because she's like, okay, this is something extreme that will catch people's attention, but if they look into it, they'll understand what the context is. We're not in an environment right now where it's easy to discern context with this much noise going on. So I can completely understand what her intention was and what her point is, but making that statement was a little tone deaf, and I think that she would understand that, hopefully, right? But at the same time, I just think it could have been phrased don't you think it could have been phrased a little bit better, Matt?
I feel like
yeah, sure, I guess, but I guess the whole point. But I guess the whole point was people going on about Plattner's tattoo. So I guess that was the example she went with. Of course, not the best one, but I think the point remains. And also, I think it is what it is. We know what we know about the guy now. We didn't know this before, and I think people have changed their mind on him right away.
But this is one thing that I have to ask because it's really bothering me. Do you not think that there's a problem, at least optically, at the bare minimum, that leftists were like, yeah, Plattner's awesome, fuck yeah, knowing that he had killed brown people, but they're only drawing the line now that he has a white victim?
I don't know if people were thinking he was awesome. I mean, I never really, for me personally, I didn't really I defended the idea of someone having that tattoo because I know people, not in my real life, but from doing work on covering white supremacy and white supremacists and neo-Nazi groups. I know that there are people who got that that's a common tattoo among especially military people who might not know what it is when they got it. So on that specific
putting
point,
aside the tattoo,
Mike is talking about killing people, though. He's talking about the tattoo.
I think that was the main legitimate issue to have with him. Everyone was continuing on about the tattoo or about the previous allegations from that Republican apparatchik lady, and those to me didn't rise to the level of obviously not good, but didn't rise to the level of this is someone that couldn't have changed over the years or whatever.
I will mention
but for me, the Blackwater stuff was always a legitimate criticism. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think also we have an environment where we don't recognize moral inconsistency. So when somebody is morally inconsistent, and the thing was, Plattner had so many moral inconsistencies, right? And so when one arose, people felt they either have to go all in that that's excusable, or all in that it needs to be
well, the thing
right?
is he wasn't pretending he wasn't those things. His whole thing was that he was that person and now he's reformed. That was the thing. It wasn't as if he was trying to hide that he wasn't. He was always a combat veteran.
I don't know.
Actually, I want to ask, by the way, as well. I'm just curious. Are combat veterans off limits now for running? Because this is a new thing for me.
That's not what anyone's saying here.
I don't understand.
If you're jumping to an extreme example, when this guy's in the opposite direction, he's like a person who bragged about doing horrifying things to people in illegal.
All combat veterans do horrible things. They may not talk about it.
Here's the fundamental issue. Okay. Not only did he go to the Middle East and gloat about doing horrendous war crimes in both Afghanistan and Iraq, but he came back and then he joined Blackwater.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest red flag, because even if you want to say, oh yeah, he's reformed, I've met veterans who have been in combat, who have killed people, who have come back and they do intense rallying and standing up against everything that's happening right now in DC. I've met multitudes of veterans who have seen the light. Graham Plattner is not one of those people because he would have never even touched the idea of joining or being involved with Blackwater and being a Blackwater mercenary. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to say this. I think we have lived through war on terror propaganda from the Pentagon for decades. I think that Middle Eastern life is literally worthless to the average American. And I think a lot of Americans do have implicit bias where it's like, yeah, I'll excuse the fact that he bragged about murdering brown people within the context of an occupation. And I'll excuse that he even joined Blackwater after because I like what he's saying. And I also want to make another point that I think is incredibly important within this context. There are a lot of people that will co-opt the pro-Palestine movement in order to wash their own sins. Kind of think of it as like the person that's a real piece of shit. Then out of nowhere, they're like, God, Jesus is my savior. I go to Christ every Sunday, whatever, right? It's almost the same thing. There are so 100%. Many people, a lot of people who tend to be, it's not just white people, right? It's a lot of people who are very rarely it'll be a Middle Eastern person, but most of the time, it's a non-Middle Eastern person, and they will co-opt the pro-Palestine movement. They will co-opt that movement for their own personal gain. And Graham Plattner was one of those people. And here's the thing, like Anna Kasparian went on stream on TYT, and she was like, well, if I got raped, I wouldn't let the guy sleep at my house after. Right? That's another example.
Has been out of her mind for the last fucking years.
No, I understand. I understand.
There's no room for anyone. There's no room for defending. I think everyone could agree that there's no room for anyone defending him on these latest allegations.
No, not at all. There's no room for anyone defending ever. Period. But here's the thing: like, yes, Anna does a lot of pro-Palestine advocacy for sure. And I'm not saying she's faking it because I do know that she has family ties in Palestine and like her grandparents were born there. But at the same time, just because she says free Palestine on Piers Morgan does not mean that she is fundamentally a good person with good morals, because we all know that's not true. So it's just like, I just think a lot, I think I come out of this with two things. Number one, I think that a lot of more institutions need to hire and put more voices of color, more specifically Middle Eastern voices, because I feel like there's a huge gap in Middle Eastern voices when it comes to political commentary. And I think any Middle Eastern person could have told you exactly what I told you about Graham Plattner. I stood by 10 toes down because I knew he was a piece of shit. But also at the same time, I think it's another thing that we have to look at too is in Maine is above 90% white population. Mm-hmm. Maine is a very white state. And to be honest with you, if Maine was a more diverse area, I don't think Graham Plattner would have grown as many legs, if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
No, of course not. No, yeah. I think that's obvious. Yeah. He's specifically someone who could only worked somewhere like Maine, without a doubt.
Yeah, so I just feel like we have a lot of I think Americans as a whole have just been so conditioned to the desensitization of Blackwater and American imperialism within the Middle East and these murders and stuff like that, because we've literally been conditioned to that. A lot of us who are leftist and believe in really great morals kind of flopped on Graham Plattner, you know?
I guess.
But I'll be real.
It was a huge moral failure.
I don't think on politics, but it should be also a lesson in general, because this isn't something that is just unique to the left. This specific type of story, this story has been a common fucking story for the last 10 years in politics. Hey, this is the guy. This is the guy. He's saying the right things, and then look at this laundry list of skeletons, which anybody could have fucking seen a mile away that people were telling.
No, I gotta say I disagree with this part. I mean,
you don't think there hasn't been other candidates that have been held up as the standard and then pulled the fuck back? Like Anthony Weiner doesn't exist.
Oh no. What I'm saying is I don't think there were any red flags in terms of what he ended up actually ended up coming out about him. I don't.
For Plattner?
I don't. I don't think
that was the 8th scandal in a row at that point.
No, but
these are disconnected scandals.
The idea that anyone though is saying I knew because of the tattoo. Well, I mean, most people who are rapists and sexually assault people don't have Nazi tattoos.
Yeah,
I mean, the idea that
it's not. But why is that the line? Why is that the line, Matt? You're saying that's the line? Like it's not the tattoo. It's not the multitude of comments that he made on Reddit, which got people freaking out. It's not the allegations of misogyny that came out first. It's not right afterwards one of the people from those allegations coming out and saying that that's the line. It was 4. It took 4 different specific things that came out. I understand that we're saying like, oh, well, I understand how you can somehow make your way through that, but those are still red flags that people miss, and they have to come to grips with that and not act like they were nothing. Like they were.
No, they weren't. It's not that. No, it's not that they. It's not that they were nothing. It was just that. What I'm saying is the idea that you could have seen exactly this coming. You could have, like, I think the idea that not supporting him because of the Blackwater stuff and that being your red flag for him is completely legitimate. That's an obvious thing that had me never supporting him publicly. I never came out and you can't find me having anything about me telling people to vote for Plattner or defending him or anything, because when I saw that shit, I was like, you know what? I'm staying the fuck out of this. And the only time I ever talk about Plattner has been on the show when he's come up in topics that we bring up on the show, because, we're having a conversation about it. But in my opinion, the people who are like, and it's not leftists doing this, the moderates and centrists who are like spiking the football saying, oh, all those red flags, should have told you this was coming or whatever. You could say those were red flags about other issues, but I don't think that the initial red flag of the Nazi tattoo that people bringing up, or honestly, even the Reddit comments, I don't think that brings you to, oh, he's going to come out and it's going to be a rape.
Can I so there's a disconnect that. No, well, here's what I want to ask.
That's the campaign's line. That's when the volunteers dropped out. Like it's not on us.
It's not my line.
When a candidate just dropped out.
Came out now.
His volunteers ended the campaign.
Let's put it this way. You have people like you have centrist and moderate Democrats. You have third way type people. You got Chuck Schumer and Christian Gillibrand and all these people. You got Andrew Cuomo's assistant, staff assistant, whatever, DeRosa, who's been on his side for who knows how long. You got Neera Tanden saying how, oh, we could have, you guys didn't vet him, or you could have seen this coming. And I'm sorry, like the idea that this was in terms of us getting to this point, I don't think you could draw the direct line. You could have your reservations about specific things, sure, but it doesn't mean that that's where it was going to end up. And second of all, I think the idea that this is the line being drawn, that's not my line. In my opinion, these people who are coming out and saying these things, like the Chuck Schumers and your attendants and people like that, they supported Israel. They support Israel now.
This is the line for so many leftists, though. Matt, this is the line for so many leftists specifically. They're abandoning him right now.
This is the line.
And the disconnect, the specific disconnect.
Not any of this.
Yeah, so let me get to the disconnect here and why you can draw a direct line from the red flags directly to this allegation. If you go on Reddit and you specifically brag about how much you enjoy killing people, literally, if you wear your Blackwater hat just to get a rise out of people offended by the war crimes, if you say there is basically nothing like killing, there's no experience like it, if you enjoy taking a life, you enjoy violence, how can you not say that that also might lead to violence in home life?
I mean, why are we whataboutisming this though? Like it's
also
not...
why is that, like why are the Reddit comments excusable for Plattner, but from some similar like talking heads on podcasts, Daria Liza's comments are inexcusable.
Oh, like, but that's not me. That's you're using a completely separate example.
For you, but what I'm saying is that there are other. This has been a consistent narrative from multiple people. Like, hey, we do not trust this guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I understand, like, but I'm saying this is not a mea culpa moment where you understand. Like, listen, there are things that we should have understood and we should have looked out for when vetting candidates before we just constantly try to excuse things. Like the first drop of information should have been like, we need to look into this guy a little bit more and figure out if he's somebody we should be consistent with or if we need to make a change now. If the New York Times article dropped a couple months ago and people looked into it, and those allegations, which were reported to the New York Times, were accurately reported then, right? And all of a sudden, Plattner had to do a mea culpa there, and we would have had more time to vet a candidate, put him up, and replace Plattner than now. After all of this stuff has happened, after we're through a primary and all that kind of stuff, like this could have been solved months ago. And the one thing that I do want to say, I'm sorry, I'm like trying to hog the mic, but like this is an issue where I think like we constantly go about politics or this moral thing. Politics are transactional. We have morals, and we hope that people as well have morals, but politics are strictly transactional. People morally pushing this guy, right, is why he got so far as he did. We should have known that this is transactional. Okay, he's not a good representative. He gets to get the fuck out, right? And I'm not saying
he got as far as he did because of Maine. Maine liked him. I think there was almost no impact at all from anybody online on what happened in Maine. I mean, the first time I talked about him like 10 months ago, he was already way in the lead in the primary race. Like,
take accountability. To be honest with you, like I agree with you, David, but a lot of political commentators need to take more accountability for their blind spots. That's where I'm at.
It requires a mea culpa specifically from the left. All of your arguments about the establishment and mainstream media I agree with you 100%. But specifically the issue with the leftists who promoted him, who are just saying, all right, I'm out. This is too far for me, is that they decided to just move past the Blackwater and the Reddit posts about killing, and now they're pretending like, oh my God, I could have never seen this coming. Well, you could have seen it coming if all of the things that people brought to you, if all the evidence about him being violent were actually taken seriously. But people poo-pooed that and shit on anybody who tried to bring that up. And that's the problem. And that's why we have to go back. We can't move on yet, because that needs to be addressed. It was a moral failure of the left to promote this guy. And I understand you can make this argument that, hey, man, there's nobody else. There's nobody else. It's, him or Janet Mills, him or Susan Collins. But what leftists did is they elevated this guy to the point where he was seen as the face of the fucking movement when there's so many other candidates that could have been promoted.
I don't see that.
I
mean, the DSA didn't. The DSA didn't endorse him.
Look at the videos on all of the leftists created. How many videos did they do about Plattner versus Abdul El Sayed?
Multiple YouTube videos
Who are you even talking about?
People interviewed him. And
there's a lot of leftists who did promote him, but I think it's a very specific brand of leftist who specifically made him the face of it. I don't think that's the universal face of the left was Graham Plattner. You have
no.
I don't know anyone.
There was dick riding because we saw him as one of our own, right? He watched our podcast, so let's ride his cock. When it's like, no, you have to have objectivity because there's red flags that you're ignoring, and you're shitting on anybody who tries to call up these red flags, and that is so frustrating. And you have to reckon with that. You have to reckon with the fact that you got this wrong, and you need to understand why you got this wrong, and you need to grow from this. Otherwise, we're going to get rolled by some fucking Manchurian candidate who 10 years down the line is like, hey, man, I used to be in the IDF for an ICE agent, but now I support Medicare for all. Like, are we just going to let them into the movement?
But I have a question. Do you think Graham Plattner's a right, like an actual, like politically right winger? Like, do you think he's an actual
100%?
I don't care.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But that's the point about. If people got rolled, that means that he's actually not who he says he is. I think he's a left winger who committed sexual assault.
Yeah. Agree.
Okay, but the fear with Graham Plattner specifically. David. No, the fear with let me respond to that.
No,
real quick.
but the point,
the fear with Graham
is,
Plattner specifically is that if he is willing to kill people and he has such a lack of moral character, such a lack of judgment that he enjoys killing, then how would that translate to his time as a lawmaker? Well, he might vote for wars. He might vote to fuck people over, strip them of their healthcare. If you have no moral qualms about killing people and you love it, then how could you not be a fucked up person when you legislate? Like, there were red flags, little crumbs that he left for us in his platform that shows he didn't change. No more pointless wars. That reads as Tulsi Gabbard's no more regime change wars. He wants to address the recruitment crisis in the military. But I thought you said that you had PTSD and you hated it. Why would you want more people to join when you said it was a bad experience? The shipbuilding issue. You want to build up our capacity to do terrorism abroad. There's so many little crumbs. There were so many like hints and clues he was giving people, but they didn't want to see it because they were riding his dick so hard that any criticism was just Zionist deep state criticism. Any leftist was a wrecker. And that's the thing that frustrates me because there was no room for a nuanced conversation. It was just fuck you. What all the black people on the left are saying, hey man, don't take this guy at his word. And they're like, I'm just gonna plug my ears. Like FD Signifier put out a fucking video saying, saying, I'm leaving the white left because of Graham Plattner, and nobody cared. Nobody was like, hey, man, maybe we should address this. It's a serious concern. People were just like, bye. Like, what the fuck?
Well,
that needs to be addressed.
I thought we had a really good conversation last time we talked about it on this show, where we
did. I think we did. But like more broadly speaking, the left collectively,
also,
the left
this
creator
FD
space.
signifier video you're bringing up. No, I don't mean any disrespect, but I don't fucking know about that. I'm not a YouTube leftist. I don't sit around on YouTube seeing what what the YouTubers have to say. I'm not.
I think there's
I barely watch political stuff.
But there's also Shonda Black.
I don't even know who that is.
There's Ariana right here. I mean,
guys, like also like we're not like this is not a direct attack on David and Matt. Like, because again, we're not like swinging at you guys for like, again, this is not an attack if you at one point supported Plattner and like are like, oh my god, I'm blown away by this. Like, you should have known. That's not the point we're making. The point that's being made is that this is essential. Like, we all have blind spots, and we have to be more reticent of the fact that, like, even if we felt like there were no red flags there, that's the point. Is there were?
If he wasn't a plant, he's serving the same purpose as one, because he got everyone in a position, especially on the left, who would have been united against things like imperialism or Zionism, to suddenly start fighting each other and moralizing and talking down and condescending towards, again, people of color who were some of the first like content creators who were trying to be like, by the way, this guy's fucked. Why would you support him? And then a lot of people along that road, like, when it comes to the right, they learn and adapt so fucking quick. Look what happened after January 6th. That's a coup. They're supposed to be in jail, all that kind of stuff. But it's like diversity of tactics. Like, now all of a sudden they're being pardoned. They're getting rewards. Like, they are learning from what they're doing to try new shit, to do fascism. We have to do the same. Like, if a person like Graham Plattner comes along and he's not a wrecker and he's not a CIA plant, but he serves the same purpose, a lot of people who want to break up the left or organizing or anyone trying to like achieve anything can look towards this as a lesson now and be like, look how easy that was. All you needed was the soldier boy. And everyone's like, oh, he's my boy. I want that.
I think that is some, like, I think it's an easy, like, kind of thing. Like, people can make a big deal. Like, you'll get Neera Tanden to say some shit and everything like that. But a lot of the people who are using that, like, they're not gonna. Honestly, there's too many examples of progressive politics working in the recent memory that I don't think Graham Plattner sinks progressive politics to such a level where we're like, oh, but I think it is an internal thing where we have to understand in terms of candidate electability and because that's the big thing everybody attacks for the left. It's like candidate electability, like who's an electable candidate with these kind of positions. I think I
don't think he sunk us. I don't think he destroyed the left. I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy we're having this discussion.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't have this on the right. There is no you committed sexual assault, then you become the president. Make him the president.
I also want to echo what Zed said, that it's not like specifically Matt and David. Like, I'm not trying to take all my anger on you, both in particular. I'm just saying that, like, in general, the left, like, the thing that really bothers me is the lengths that some leftists went through to promote this guy to the detriment of the movement collectively. They beclowned themselves to promote this guy.
I don't think there's any detriment.
But there is though, because now how can anybody trust American leftists, white leftists? There's this division.
How can you trust anybody? How can you trust anybody? Look what Fetterman did. How do you trust anybody?
But no. I mean, like, I don't think that.
Why are you all taking this so personally?
Okay.
This guy presented himself as something.
No. I mean, like, black leftists versus white leftists. They can't trust us.
There's a huge divide between
all the people taking
This is a very online conversation to have.
Yes, no one outside of this bubble, and I see people going like, "How is Matt not a YouTube leftist? He's on YouTube right now. No one would know if it wasn't for YouTube." Yeah, I'm on YouTube, but I don't pay attention to this shit. I don't care. I don't got time to be on YouTube all day watching every fucking commentator about saying what they fucking want to say. I got 3 kids.
Yes.
I got 3 kids. Thank you very much. And that's the majority of people in this country. The majority of people in this country have no idea.
No one is saying
in
that
fact,
you need to
the
know
majority
this.
of Mainers too would vote for Graham Plattner right now if he didn't drop out. I'm telling you that right now. I don't agree with it, but that's just the truth. That's how people are. They don't care about this stuff. I'm not saying they shouldn't care. They should care about this stuff, but that's just the truth. That's facts. I'm sorry.
You can't go, I'm not taking this personally, when two people on the panel go, this is not personal against you, and then you go on a diatribe about how you don't know about leftist politics on YouTube. Nobody is saying that you are wrong on those things. Like, it is just specifically a thing about, hey, I'm not even taking it personally. I'm just saying, hey, can we have just a little bit of like, maybe we should have thought this through a little bit more before he was pushed in all media like he was, and maybe these allegations, these multiple news stories over months, which multiple election experts and multiple other people who were even on the left said you should take a look into more. It's not just leftist YouTubers, it was leftist media personalities, it was leftist like political commentators who were outside of YouTube. It was on every single platform. There were multiple people who called this out. Okay, I am not saying that you are on the hook for it. I'm not saying that David is on the hook for it. I just got through before you came on glazing everybody about how great their content has been for multiple weeks. It is not a personal thing. It is just being like, hey, maybe we could just think through a little bit in case somebody comes through. And in terms of Fetterman, again, there were multiple stories about Fetterman before he was elected that a lot of people brought up. And in every interview, when they were bringing up the stuff about him and African Americans, he was just like, oh, no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this. That was an enormous red flag. Okay, which now we don't like let that kind of stuff slide. So maybe in the future, when there's somebody else who comes up, we can have this other litmus test to make things easier. That's kind of the point that's being brought up. Not, hey, fuck you guys for supporting it. I completely understand where you were coming from, because hey, even to me, before I found out the Blackwater stuff, he seemed like a cool candidate. But after all of that stuff, I was wary. That's all that is being said.
I'll let Bender talk. I just want to mention one thing. Fetterman, I really think it was mostly the stroke. There was an article about his position on Israel before the election, but his own family. There's articles about his own family being like, "What the fuck's going on with this guy?" Like they don't know. Like he's changed. He's a different person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's. So the comparison to Fetterman I always found weird. Like Fetterman had a very specific medical emergency that he hasn't recovered from clearly, and he's lost
a
his
black
mind.
man down the street with a gun. No.
I'm not saying there weren't absolutely. No. But in terms of how he votes, like him on Fox News every single day talking about how terrible like Bernie Sanders is now, like he's a different person. He's a weird guy because he lost his mind. Like he's not right.
Sure, if Friday was racier than it was, but the core, the base of the person was rotten.
Yeah. There was a rotten core.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible that was always there, and it never came out till he had the
with
stroke.
a gun. Yeah. Like, no.
Yeah, and to be clear, to speak to Matt's concern in particular, I think it's a fair point that like you're not expected to watch every single commentary video about this. You're not terminally online, but when this was brought up to people, it was poo-pooed. One example, Majority Report. I love them. No disrespect to them, but just as an example, one of the callers or people sent an IM, and they were trying to address their concerns, and they were like, "Well, good luck finding your perfect purity candidate." When it's like they're not just like bringing up some banal bullshit. Like they're talking about his murder. Like this is a war criminal. This isn't something that's just like frivolous. And even people in the chat, they're like, Mike, you're doing woke identity politics. And that's the problem right there. We can't have a conversation about intersectionality or about the way that lived experience is going to affect somebody's view without somebody doing this right-wing coded bullshit about, oh, well, you're just being woke. You're trying to be the white savior. It's like, listen, if we actually want to make the world a better place, we have to elect candidates who actually believe the things that they say. And if there's 18,246 red flags, that probably is not going to be conducive to getting what we want. And on the note of like to give an example, because I don't want anyone to feel called out who shouldn't feel called out. I'm talking to a specific subset of leftist content creators who beclown themselves for this. I want to go back to the Ryan Grimm thing. I love Ryan Grimm. Again, subscribe to Dropsite News, but this is a substantive criticism. I want Ryan Grimm to understand that the things that he said to promote Plattner is delegitimizing and embarrassing, and I want him to read his friend Jeremy Scahill's book of Dropsite News also called Blackwater. And that is why if you read that book, you will see why our concerns were valid. But this in particular is one thing that I think it just makes people feel so frustrated with the left, because how can you with a straight face say this and then expect us to take you seriously ever again? Like it's delegitimizing, and I wish they would like address this meaningfully. Let me just press play and shut up.
About this for a long time, and
it's a flip side of back in
the early 2010s.
Yeah.
And 2000s, when the gay rights movement was gaining steam.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What
the Barney Frank argument?
What people discovered, is that you've got a gay uncle. You actually, once people started coming out of the closet.
The Andrew Sullivan argument.
Yeah, once people started coming out of the closet, like, oh, that guy's gay. I love that guy. He's great, and my life is fine around him. This is the reverse for liberals. It's like, this is a white guy, and he's actually pretty nice.
A big burly combat vet.
Big burly combat vet.
Someone you could
in
see
your
with
family.
Joe Rogan.
And he's fine. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Like the current cultural divorce between kind of progressives and white men is so like stark that it's just culturally, morally, ethically wrong, but also just pragmatically from a political perspective. You can't build a national party.
Yeah.
If you assume every white guy, or every white guy with a deep voice as a combat vet or whatever, is like out to get you.
Or if you talk about him in a way that implies he does have sort of built-in problems.
Right.
So
just inherent toxicity or something.
Yeah. Whether you're talking about racism or sexism, yes. And
like my point is, did we have to go this far?
And that's
we have to go this far.
That's just it's idiotic. No one is feeling this way about
right, but that was
Plattner because he's
right? that was
a
kind
white
of
guy.
No, I know, but that's to Mike's original point. Like, especially to people who were trying to speak up about all the fucked up shit and all the red flags you should watch out for. You would get pushback from a lot of people who are like, "So you're a Zionist? You're pro Susan Collins?" Blah blah. It's
That's stupid. That's stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
Or anyone. That's why I thought our conversation last time was when I brought it up, I thought it was great because Ariana made a great point last time that the thing people should be obsessed over about him before this latest accusation came out was that he worked for Blackwater. I agree with that completely. That was always my problem with him and why I wasn't out there. People keep bringing up how I was on the Majority Report or whatever. I didn't join them in pushing Plattner because I had reservations about the guy myself because of that specifically. I just would come out and talk about the Nazi tattoo stuff because I thought that was a dumb reason to that everyone was harping on. That was just my opinion on it. That's it.
I just my whole thing. I don't want this to be like a we were right, you were wrong. Let me take this win. Like I don't give a shit about any of that. I'm gonna be wrong in the future. You all can fucking like throw that in my face. I'm gonna take else in the future. All that I am asking for is for all of us collectively, just on the left, to really think deeply about the blind spots and how we got here and try to learn and grow from that. That's literally the only thing that I want, because if we don't learn from this, I fear it's going to get worse in the future. I think that to be so shocked to see this revelation and be like, oh my God, he lied to us. No, you just weren't paying attention. And you have to address that. You have to address, if you knew, like, to be fair, maybe you know, Matt and David didn't know, but if you knew about the Reddit post, the specific ones where he talked about killing people, and you just like shoot that away.
He fantasized about participating in the genocide of indigenous people. That was one of the things.
Right. If you can dismiss that, sit with why you could dismiss that. These are things like, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'm perfect. I don't have any biases. I'm just saying that we all need to learn to try to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying we all need to learn how to be better at introspection, and I'm just gonna finish it. We all have to be better at introspection and not shut each other out.
And their lag is destroying this conversation.
I will say I have a massive blind spot when it comes to military. Like Blackwater, like to me, it's all the same. Like combat veteran is a combat veteran is a combat so, and we don't really have this in Canada. We don't really have this. I mean, I guess we do a little bit, but the same sort of like person that was in military is now running for, you know, political office. That isn't really a thing here in the same way. So the way that Americans have always sort of viewed combat veterans as like a thing to hold up and not something that ever really turned them away. To me, for him having that background, again, me not being fully aware of you know, some of the details there, is like, okay, he's a veteran. Like he's a combat veteran like any other politician has been. Like to me, that was never really anything, because it's never been anything in American politics. It's never been a big deal. So
yeah, I
like
think
that. I'll be honest, like that was my blind spot there because I just didn't see what the big deal was. Because isn't it normal to be
that's a fair
in the
blind spot to
military
have,
and then
David,
go
for sure.
to
Yeah,
politics? Like that's a very normal thing as far as I'm concerned.
In the past couple of years, for sure. Like, I think growing up that was the case, but like now it's like, if you, and mind you, I'm not necessarily against a combat veteran. Like, if you are running a progressive platform and you're like, I went into the military, I did not know what I signed up for, I did 2 tours, I am not, like, I wouldn't, and you genuinely push a progressive platform that's anti-imperialist and anti-war and anti-fucking, the lower income people over, so they join the military just for benefits and shit like that. Like, yeah, 100%. But that wasn't Graham Plattner. And like, going beyond like the leftist people who propped Graham Plattner up, because there were some very big and very notable people that were continuously propping him up. I think there's another thing to be said about leftist viewers and leftist people who watch leftist content as well, because it's like one of the reasons why, like, when I spoke out against Graham Plattner, the whole entire chat, like, literally all together berated me. There was maybe like 10% of the chat that was understanding with Mike and I, but majority of the chat was like, no, absolutely not. Like, she's tripping. You know what I mean?
And vicious too, like name calling. You're a dipshit. Fuck you. Like,
yeah, like very aggressively too. And I just feel like this is just a leftist blind spot as a whole, right? From like, when you look at the funnel from the commentators to the viewers to the people who go out and they volunteer for DSA or whatever, it's just like, you don't have to agree with what someone is telling you. This is a free country. You can make whatever choice, free country. You can make whatever choice you want in that category. But it's like, if someone's telling you something, at least listen, right? Like, I think that's something that's so important, and just like, it just does not exist in our spaces, unfortunately, because it's like, if you don't go with the grain 110% of the time, then you're an op. And it's like, well, no.
I think at a certain
wait, people were calling you an op?
I don't mean to. Yeah, I don't mean
People
to
are calling
interrupt
me all
Ariana,
kinds of
but
things.
I was called a Zionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dude, there's a guy
I think
in here who's
that's
commentating. Hold on.
that whole thing is really dumb when people. Sorry, that's not. Yeah.
There's an insane part, like, and I think Ariana's spot on. I think one thing that is just true, like, and it's not necessarily purity politics, but it is this point, like, there's a point in time where we had this huge push for nuance in politics, and it's been about a decade at this point, where we were like, that's actually really wrong, and a lot of people who are racist and sexist and fucking horrible and Nazis, they're all getting away with it because we have this nuance in politics, and we just quashed it, right? I think there is just a perceived, like, just a necessary lack of nuance when it comes to leftists, when it comes to like certain things like this, and that makes it hard to address blind spots. We all have bad takes. I had it when Taylor Lorenz came out with that article. I made a video saying that I did not trust Taylor Lorenz, which I don't. I do not trust her as a journalist. That being said, she was right about the article, about people taking money and all of that kind of stuff. Also, weeks later, Taylor Lorenz was caught using like AI and said a bunch of other weird shit online. Okay? Does that mean Taylor Lorenz is the devil? No. Does that mean that I'm the devil because I thought that her reporting may have been veracity? No. I probably got it wrong. She probably got it wrong. We need to be okay with people getting it wrong once in a while. I mean, if we see people get it wrong consistently, then we can make a judgment of it, right? I think people jumping on Ariana just because she doesn't trust somebody or she feels like this person's fucked up is not a good way to go, right? And similarly to like Matt and David, if people jump on you because of your previous like feelings about Plattner, or you feel like you didn't see it coming, that's a fucking problem. It should be like, yo, you didn't see it coming, learn better. Like, everybody is imperfect in this situation.
No, but
right?
then that conversation, I agree with you, but that conversation works the other way too, though. Like, who's to say that, that a candidate in this scenario isn't just getting it wrong and they're not a bad person? You got to give someone a shot. You got to give someone a shot.
But oh my God, we're going back to square one though. We're going back to square one.
I feel like all the work we just did just went down the fucking hole.
Yeah,
but it's the same. But it's the same.
Matt, Matt. Oh, you're killing me. Listen. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. Listen. Please let me just say this. Okay, I believe in restorative justice. All of us believe in restorative justice, but if there are red flags, especially, you are not entitled to a fucking Senate seat.
No, of course.
And again,
absolutely not.
You have to acknowledge. I need you to acknowledge. Listen, Matt. I need you to acknowledge the severity of the red flags. If somebody, let me just read the motherfucking.
Are they flags or lines? Then they're not flags anymore. They're red lines.
Let me read it for you. Okay,
flags
so
are warnings.
I'm going to read.
Potato, like what?
Well, a flag is a warning. A line is like that's it.
Actually, I think that's a good point. Like, there's a difference between red flags and red lines, right? Red flags means there's something suspicious here. Red lines are like this is the cutoff, right? And I think maybe that's a good point in terms of like communication. We're trying to figure this out, right? You know, some people's red line was sexual assault, and other people's red line was Blackwater, and other people's red line was the Reddit post, right? I think the thing that we have to come to a consensus on is what is the line and what is a flag. A flag can be like, all right, you need to what's a yellow card and what's a red card, if we're being honest, right? A yellow card is like, hey, this is fucked up and you need to stop this. A red card is you need to get the fuck out. Right?
Yeah,
and you need to have an understanding of what that is. And when people are sounding the alarm on those yellow cards that people are just throwing out, you know, it needs to just be looked at a little bit better.
And I need to read this. I need to read this, and I need to know that this bothers you and it's disqualifying. Okay, this is a post from Graham Plattner. 4 tours as an infantryman in the Marines, and then the Army, did both Iraq and Afghanistan. It's hard to explain how much I enjoyed combat. It is both physically and intellectually challenging and incredibly exciting, especially the first few times. I was never a huge fan of killing, at least not for killing's sake, but I did love winning, and that required killing. When a fight is over and your element has not only survived but also killed or captured enemy combatants, well, it's a feeling of accomplishment that cannot be replicated. It's one of the purest forms of contest, but explaining that to someone who hasn't experienced it is difficult. In the end, civilian life seems really devoid of purpose or excitement after intense combat. Given the choice of safe, stable, and fulfilled civilian life or another tour like Ramadi in 2006, I wouldn't even hesitate. I need people to understand that if you don't see that this person who wrote this is a sociopath, then your radar for like detecting whether or not somebody's good or bad is broken.
Right. That's definitely not a good. That's definitely not a good post. But it's also something that's. What was the date on it?
2015. There's some from 2020. There's some from 2020.
People change.
That's one of maybe. That's one of multiple.
Psycho killers change, chat. Psycho killers change. They
people write all sorts of stuff.
They treat women right, and they integrate into society with absolute.
I think a lot of stuff's being misconstrued here, right? I think 100. Yeah, sure, people can change, right? And I'll even give you that it's 2015 where everybody was pushing edgy, like you know, like hot takes on like dark ideas.
This is not a hot take. It's confession. He did this shit.
For sure. Let me finish my point.
And just 10 years later, he won a Senate seat.
I'm not co-signing it. Give me a second. Right? Okay. But like, even if that is the case, right? Okay. Like over time, there's more shit that he wrote in 2020, right? There's more stuff that he said and done on Reddit that was like, what is about black people tipping and shit like that? That was fucked up, right? You know, so it's not necessarily like a mea culpa of like, have you like, obviously everybody can improve and everybody can change and everything like that. Mike just said that. But I think the frustration that everybody is having is that nobody is saying, oh, you should have known. People are saying you should have listened to other people sounding the alarm. That's it. Like, it's not a thing about like, oh, like how fucking dare you didn't like crucify him for this. It's like, hey, people are concerned about it. Don't treat it like it's a fucking nothing burger. It's a serious thing, right?
Oh yeah, I think there's people who probably did treat it like it was nothing burger, obviously. But yeah. I mean, I saw that stuff and I was like, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not going to the fire for him.
I think the frustration, Matt, from somebody who really likes your work and is somebody who is still upset that you're not following him on Twitter because he looks up to you and wants that sweet Matt Binder follow. But like as somebody
the audacity.
The audacity. But like as somebody who does think you're a really smart guy, I think that the thing that is coming off to a lot like to Ariana and maybe to me a little bit is that it feels like that's not clear. like that. Hey, like it feels that is one of those things where you're saying it's a nothing burger, even if you don't think it's a nothing burger. The way you're coming off is it feels like, hey man, this is a nothing burger. We couldn't have known at all. Does that make sense?
My thing isn't even from you guys. My thing is that there's this belief that this should never happen again, and I hate to say it, but this is going to happen again. Things like this will happen again.
Fair.
Yeah, of course. Like, and it's not it doesn't mean anything about the left. It doesn't mean anything about anything like that. This is humans are going to be humans, and this is
how we
happens,
adapt,
unfortunately.
how we
I just
adapt
want
to
to say something. I just want to say something. Kowalski just sent me a really good text, and I think he's right, and I want to share it, but I don't want to take credit for it. So I think that someone like Graham Plattner, well, paraphrasing what Kowalski said, I think that Graham Plattner had a lot of baggage. He has a lot of baggage as a person. Clearly, he has a lot of fucking issues. I've never been a fan. I think someone like Graham Plattner was incredibly selfish in the beginning to even put himself in the front, in the face of such a progressive campaign for Senate and become such a national campaign when he has so many skeletons in his closet, because then we are sitting here debating on restorative justice or not. I 100% believe in restorative justice, but I fundamentally do not believe that someone who enjoyed killing people to win is someone that is okay in the head. Like, and I think that's okay to think that. Like, there's a line. There's a very clear line, and that's why I continuously go back to, at the end of the day, Middle Eastern lives mean nothing to the average American, because it's like this is the line. This is saying that, oh, I don't really like killing, but I loved winning, and killing was a part of it. So that should have been done. End. Zero. No more conversation. That should have been it. But it's like the fact that it took this instance of rape for everyone to throw their hands up and be like, never mind, I washed my hands clean. Like, no, you need to do reflecting. And also, white men like Graham Plattner, who have so much fucking baggage, need to not run for these incredibly high spaces. Like a Senate, you couldn't even go for Congress. You went for fucking Senate. Like, that's like the highest federal position.
I mean, the Senate is full of people who believe that Middle Eastern lives don't matter. I mean, he would have been no different than any of them. I mean,
but they're not supported by the left, though. That's the key. It hurts to see the left support it.
I agree. It's frustrating as a leftist and as someone who doesn't believe that.
Are you arguing like what reality is and like it's tough luck? Because I think we all
it's the whataboutism for me. It's the whataboutism for me, Matt. Because you keep whataboutism what we tell you instead of like just like internalizing it, right?
I think.
What about all the other pieces of shit in Senate? Great. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm not going to endorse them either.
No, right. I'm not saying you're going to. Wait. I think you're thinking I'm rebutting what you're saying.
I think that was that was a weird rebuttal, because it didn't like. I mean, obviously we all know that there are like duplicitous pieces of shit in the Senate who don't care about Middle Eastern lives. I don't think that's like a secret to anybody here, right? But I think that the reason she is saying that is because this is a candidate for a party that is talking about how people don't care about Middle Eastern lives, who was put in a position to get into the Senate.
Oh, right. I agree that the left should not be behind a candidate who's like that. Yeah.
And then there's also other things like, why did he think he could run? Not only with all of this under his, like, not only with the sexual assault allegations, which he was informed of years ago that it was not consensual to the party he did it with, right? Why did he run anyway with all this baggage on him?
Oh, right. I'm not defending him for that. Yeah,
it was selfish for him to
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I think I'm just in a different conversation, honestly.
I think so. I think because I understand Ariana's frustration here, but I think that you are in a different conversation that you're having, especially because you kept on bringing. I think a lot of people have been giving you shit about the tattoo thing, right? I'm guessing.
No, I've just been hearing, this idea that, that the Democrats who, like establishment Democrats, are sort of, spiking the football here as if they always pick the perfect candidates and this would never happen to someone like them. I've been reading a lot of what people are saying, like, the Neera Tandons and the people like that online.
I don't think Sarah anybody Hayes. Here is like a real big fan of Neera Tandon, especially with
no, I know that's.
I think
I'm viewing this as a conversation, and I think everyone else in here, not everyone else, but some people in here might be thinking I'm like trying to debate them. I'm not trying to do that at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
because
also,
I
would
actually
also
titled
throw
this stream "Heated Debate" about Graham
Yeah.
Plattner. So
I would
we
also
have a lot of
say-
views. So.
Did you actually?
I would also
Why?
say somebody who only comes onto the show every like few months, watching the chat like go at Matt and Ariana. Please chill the fuck out. Like these guys are having, this is what a healthy discussion looks like, right? As
Yeah, this is
opposed
really
to, like
important,
a discussion
yeah.
where just like, okay, good, and then we leave. Like people are so afraid of conflict. This isn't fucking Twitter. All right, we're all hanging out. We're all trying to figure things out, right? Matt is gonna follow me on Twitter right after this. He's gonna be like, Zed, I love your raps.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna
Can
go
you
on
please just follow
Spotify and
this
check
guy?
you
This
out.
is like the third time he's brought this
Yeah.
up. Please just follow
I
him
don't
right
know
now.
what you're
I
talking
can't.
about.
It has to end.
Like,
I don't think about
the
this every
skit
time
in
I
between
come
the
on.
debate is like too much. Like,
He did bring
follow
this
him
up
right now.
also last time too.
Bro, because the first time I came on here, it was such a lovely time, and then I came on to watch afterwards, and there was a point where Matt was like, "Oh man, this guy has more followers on YouTube than me. You need to follow me because our guest can't." He said something like that. I was like, "What the fuck? Oh, how dare you!"
And complain about the title. We have more live viewers than we've had in a year, so I changed it halfway. Halfway.
Cool.
So
I mean, it
that was
a
not my
smart move.
intent to do a debate gotcha, but the title slaps. You all love the title. You're welcome.
You gave
What's
a
the
pound of
title?
flesh. Everyone yelled at one point. We were all mad.
That's true.
This
Yeah.
is the most fun episode I've been on. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm a
I think it's
battle
important
rapper,
to be
man.
able to
I
have
love
these
this shit.
conversations
Are you
because
I wish it was in the morning. I have more energy.
Oh my god,
poor David.
No, I say
I'm
this
gonna bring
without
up-
a shred of irony. I actually really like having, whatever you want to call them, debates with like progressives and leftists. I
Yeah,
find them
with like-minded
productive
people.
at the end of the day, because like we're actually trying to work towards something better. We have different ideas and pathways how to get there. When you debate someone on the right, it's just like Christ is king.
I don't think this was a Jubilee discussion where we don't
Yeah,
get
exactly.
anywhere. It's just
And I want to say really quick for the record, okay, Vanguard, if you cover this, you have to put this in as well. I name drop people not because I want to call them out and destroy them like Ryan Grimm. It's because I respect them so fucking much, and I was disappointed, and I would hope that they would call me out if they felt strongly about something I said. I don't like to eat shit. I don't want to be told that, hey, Mike, you need to take this L, but the long-term growth of the movement requires us to take L's and eat shit. So I hope he'd do the same for me if he felt strongly about something.
Vanguard
And
is
so
definitely
it's
gonna
all
clip you for
love.
sure.
It's all love. Vanguard, put this in your fucking. If you clip this, Vanguard, you have to put that in. Okay, or I'm talking to your manager.
Yeah, can I add?
Clipped, thanks to your.
We're getting clipped as we stream this right now. I'm sure there's plenty of Twitter clips. This is the only way people talk about us is if we're controversial. We have to be more controversial.
Yeah, just to add to Mike's point, I think Dropsite News does such incredible work. So I'm saying this as someone who follows and usually sources from Dropsite News and their video footage. It broke my heart, and is continuing to do so, that they're using their platform to defend this monster rapist creep. Like, stop it. People need sources like Dropsite News to show them real life footage of American atrocities, imperialism, those war crimes. Like, that shit is so important. And now to be using that same platform for this is like, what a waste. What a waste over this fucking monster. Fuck that.
Yeah. Because their overall project is so much more important than this one fucking dickhead alleged rapist war criminal. Like, what they represent, the news that they are able to disseminate is so much more important than this. So yeah, it's just like one of those things where I feel like it's very important that we hold each other accountable. This isn't the first time that we've done this, just the left more broadly speaking, and it won't be the last. Like, I've taken
if it was
so
up
many
to me,
L's.
everyone would be. If it was up to me, everyone would be held up to the Mamdani standard. To be quite honest with you, I mean, that's
an impossible standard. Nobody.
that's my standard. That's my standard.
He's like the actual, like the perfect. If you could score
Squeaky
politicians like out of 100, he's like, it's 100. Like, I could not change anything about him. Like, he is a perfect person to be a politician. It's insane.
Water in his suit and like.
I had to unfollow Zed on Twitter after he started constantly glazing empty. There's 3 people in this chat who have confused me with Zed Jelani. I'm Zed.
Oh
Tabani.
no!
I'm Zed Tabani.
This is. I don't know why you guys take name keys
Philadelphia.
off. This is why you gotta have the name keys on.
I'll put it back on. Sorry.
It confuses people.
There's 3 people. I was like, there's no way they think I'm Zed Jelani. I'm Zed Tabani. First
Oh my
off, if I
God.
battled Zed Jelani, I would win. Second off, I
There
have
we
the same initial. Yeah, there we go. I have a Z at the front of my name and an Ani at the end of it, like Mamdani. Okay,
Oh, that's so
all you
terrible.
have to know.
Well,
Jeez.
Zed, if it makes you feel better, I all the time get told what amazing work I do. They're like, David, I'm so proud of you to me. So,
I told Mike this. I think it was the first time I got recognized ever in Toronto. They thought it was Mike. Like, I love the Humanist Report. That's not me.
all white people look the same, and we're Portuguese, so I guess we look identical. Apparently.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
dude.
I think we clearly don't.
Wait,
look the
David,
same,
you're
but-
Portuguese?
Yeah.
I'm half Portuguese. Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I honestly don't
Why
think
else
you
would I
guys
have been
look alike at all.
supporting Portugal in the World Cup? I got shit for that.
I didn't
I'm
know
like,
that. See, to me, David looks like just like a white Canadian dude. Whereas Mike, I could confuse him for someone who looks like maybe a little bit Latino somewhere there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm definitely. I lean more on my the.
I'm a self-hating
more
white
side.
person, so I take that as a compliment, Matt. I'm working on my anti-white racism, which the
Well,
which
I
the
get
chat, some of
everything.
them
I
tell
get
me I need to
everything,
do.
but nobody thinks I'm white. I never get it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm still going back to when you said that. When I was younger, I looked like Prince, and the first time I'm like, shut the fuck up. You did not look like
Hold
Prince when
on.
you were younger, and you look identical to Prince.
Who
does,
said?
yeah.
Who said? Wait, what? Did you look like Prince when you?
He
wait,
looked
that's
identical to
that's a
Prince when he
wild-
was
If
younger.
he shaves that beard, you would never know the difference.
I look
Just starts
Prince-esque. I didn't look like. I think I look Prince-esque.
Look at how far we've come, chat. Look at how far we've come.
I mean, I always get people always
Is
think
Grand
people always think
Platinum-
I'm.
is Grand Platinum a war criminal to does Matt look like Prince?
I mean,
there really can be process.
Because at the end of the
progress in
because at the end
America.
of the because at the end of the day, Platinum's dropped out, and the important thing is what ethnicity do I look like? I mean, that's still a lingering question.
That's the
That's
real,
still the lingering
important
question.
thing.
Well,
All right.
we're
Need a debate
reaching
over.
we're reaching that
This took
point.
the whole show. That's lame. Let's talk about something else.
We could talk about something fun. We talked about this earlier, but like happy news. I could play. You know what? A good note to end on would be I could replay, because some of you weren't here, my memorial video to Mitch McConnell. I played it last week. I don't think everybody saw it. We have a lot of viewers
What
here.
memorial video?
You're so proud of that video, Mike.
First
You're
off,
so
Mitch
proud of
McConnell
it.
called me yesterday. We're playing.
You said it was millennial coded.
What are you talking
And
about?
calling things millennial coded cuts when you're a millennial. I'm like, oh, what? I'm old.
It was millennial coded. It was so
yeah.
millennial.
It's like
it was like
overtly
right off
millennial.
the DVD player. I was like,
I
oh,
could
this is
add a
funny, but-
skibbity toilet to make it a little bit more. But I'll play that for you all because we don't know the status of Mitch McConnell. So I'm just going to play this. Okay, just a little.
Former President Obama left so many vacancies and didn't try to fill those positions.
I'll tell you why. I was in
Yes, sir.
charge of the of what we did the last 2 years of the Obama administration.
I will give you full credit for that. And by the way, take a bow. All right, that was a good line.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Maybe.
Oh man.
Maybe he's in hell now. We don't know.
I
We just
like
don't
how
know.
like progressively throughout his life, his turtle gullet just got bigger. Like it just expanded with him throughout his.
He reached
career.
his final form at around 135, and then he started to like
Yeah.
the turkey neck in particular. The neck goosey kind
Yeah.
of like shrunk, and now he's kind of just a prune,
He's like a Pokemon evolving slowly throughout.
evolving and then devolving.
Yeah, exactly.
It's wild how much he is to blame for so much.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it is crazy.
Yeah.
The entire political, like it is. Oh my God, like all of the problematic, like it's one thing to blame like the culture war, that's like Fox News and Trump and all of that, but all of the procedural fuckery that's wrong with the Senate is I think all 100% on him. Like it's 100% his design. You know,
Oh, he's the reason why the Supreme Court looks like how it does right now. I mean, he wouldn't allow the vote on Obama's. I mean, it's not like Merrick Garland would have been fantastic or anything, but he probably would have been better than Trump's picks. Not like
Yeah, I mean, we might still
I mean,
have Roe
although
versus
maybe that's
Wade.
debatable too.
Yeah, it was Merrick Garland, right?
It was
Merrick Garland's the one who fucking completely botched the whole fucking reason that Trump is president right now, because he wouldn't hold Trump accountable the way he should have when he was running the show for
If he was on the Supreme Court, we'd have a different AG when Biden was president that maybe would have actually had a spine.
That's true. Domino effect.
I mean, it's
right?
so hard
Domino
to.
effect. Yep.
Yeah, it's so hard to say.
You know what I've been thinking about too, because I keep on trying to think of historical examples, and the two historical examples aside from 2005 is also Grover Cleveland. If you look at Grover, because he's the other president who was elected with 2 non-consecutive terms. If you look at how Grover Cleveland handled his presidency and what a fucking shit show it is, kind of going similarly to how Trump is, right? Like maybe not exactly 1-1, but there was a whole thing about like the silver and gold. I'm just fucking reciting history at this point. I'm sorry if it's boring, but like it's just interesting about how the American, like how similarly the circumstances are to, you know, somebody coming in again after they were unpopularly voted out, right? And just proving everybody like, oh, you're fucking crazy, you know, and everybody turning against them. It's just an interesting parallel, you know. Grover Cleveland, by the way, was Mitch McConnell's brother. So, you know.
No.
Yeah. That old.
Yeah. I think you're lying.
Why would I lie? What do you talk? My name is Zed Jelani. Haven't you heard of me? I apparently
Mr. Jelani, get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to change in your handle. You have to make it Zed Tabani parentheses, not Zed Jelani.
I have to now.
Do you remember Matt Gertz?
The only Matt Gertz.
He had to put not Matt Gaetz in parentheses because everybody was calling him a pedophile after the allegations from Matt Gaetz came out. So he's like, I am not Matt Gaetz. I am Matt Gertz. Please do not mistake me with that fucking man.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do super chats? Well, in fact, before we do that, Zed, you are free to dip out at any time. But before people check out for super chats and whatnot, just tell everybody where to find you and what you do.
Hi, my name is Zed Tabani, not the other guy. I do a show where I freestyle the news like every other Sunday. You can find me on YouTube at Zed Tabani, just my name. You can also find ZT Music on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and everything like that. And then you can also find me on Spotify under Zed Tabani, and we're going to be dropping some new stuff soon. So, yeah, if you want to hear some cool raps talking shit about all the people who you dislike, I'm there.
Matt,
Nice.
do you follow him on Twitter?
Was that? What is your name again on Twitter?
Oh my god.
It's gonna happen. It was a joke. CIDT music.
I'm putting it in right now. Hold on.
I'm gonna
Zed's gonna unfollow you once you follow.
Hold on, I see you. I'm gonna follow you right now. I didn't know you had a newsletter called The American Saga. Interesting. I'm gonna read it.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
Zed, he doesn't watch any of our stuff either. Don't feel bad.
That's foul. That's a level above. My god.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I like pulling people's legs.
Matt's not a fan of independent content creators in the leftist space.
I don't mean it in a derogatory. Like I should have said.
It was a joke. It's fine. You don't. I hate Twitter. It's fine.
But no, I'm not talking about you anymore.
Okay. You weren't talking about me in the first place. I know we all look alike to you, Matt, but it's...
right. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna follow you right now.
Okay, good. You're looking for he's gonna find another Zed. That is.
Here
Oh,
we go.
look,
Zed Tariq. I'm following you right now.
Oh,
Zed
thank you.
Tariq.
Perfect. Thank you.
He just follows Zed
Tariq.
Jelani.
Yeah.
How many other
I'm
famous
one of, like,
Zeds are there?
I know.
I'm like one of 4
Yeah.
people who spells his name this way, who pronounces it Zed, and there's like 100 people named Zaid who's like, hey, don't say it like that, you know? Like that's how it's gonna go.
All right, go ahead and
Oh,
check your.
he gave me a follow. He gave me the. I
There
got
you
the. I got
go.
the. Yay.
Zed.
God.
Zed, I just unfollowed you though.
What the fuck?
How about
All
that
right.
World Cup, huh?
Oh wait, who won today? I didn't catch another game.
Oh, France beat Morocco 2-0.
Okay.
Yeah, France is.
Is this a
looking
good thing or a bad
unstoppable.
thing?
I mean,
What?
depends if you're looking at it from a colonial perspective or a soccer perspective.
Oh, I was gonna be even more simpleton and be like, well, it depends if you're a Frenchman or a Moroccan.
Okay, do we want to start super
right.
chats?
Yeah, take it
Yeah,
away.
let's do it. I'm sure they're
I'll
all
stick- I'll
very
stick around
sane
for a
and
little
normal.
bit.
Let's do it.
Okay. Oh god, yeah. Just they're gonna be fun. For everybody who sent super chats about Platinum, I'm sure we're not gonna re-engage in every single thing that we said. We will read.
Oh,
them
I'm
and
ready
then-
for it. You better believe I'm going to
This is going to be
re-engage.
a 5-hour podcast.
Oh my God.
tonight.
No, we're literally gonna be on until 4 a.m. if we do that.
I may
No.
ghost at some point. I'm gonna stay for a bit, but I'm if I
Yeah.
ghost, it's.
Did
no
you
hard
want to
feelings.
reverse first, David?
It's just so hard to say bye. I could say
I will
bye
say-
now and then not actually leave for another few minutes.
There you go.
I will say this before I go. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and it's always a fun time to be on the podcast with y'all. And I appreciate you. It's only the second podcast I've been on with Ariana. It was really wonderful to hear your perspective on things and everything. And yeah, I love talking with you guys. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've gotten to shoot the shit with everybody. So I appreciate.
Yeah,
y'all.
happy to have you back
Yeah,
anytime.
it was nice having you.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
a fun time whenever you're here. We always have fun.
And we haven't mentioned video games once. How'd that even
Yeah.
happen? Usually
We
do.
didn't
God.
mention the PlayStation stuff that happened either.
No, we
Rather
didn't.
talk about-
We should have a whole thing.
We could have a
yeah.
whole ass podcast of
Yeah.
just
I'd rather
video
redo
games.
the Platinum conversation every week instead of talking about video games with you guys. Jeez.
After tonight, I literally never want to talk about him ever again. So it's out of my system. I've said everything I want to say.
Yeah, let's put him
Like-
to rest. That's it. Platinum's done.
Men in Black me with that pen where he gets deleted from my brain. I want to move the fuck on.
And then he's going to come back running in a different race, and he's going to fool you again.
Fuck him, fuck Maine, fuck Oyster. I'm scared.
Yeah, it's what is it? What's his name? Troy Jackson. He's already sending me fucking texts. Let's go,
Really?
Troy.
Watch,
I think-
there's going to be some sort of a domino effect of events that sees Ariana running for president and almost winning, but her saying "fuck Maine" is played over and over again, and we lose Maine. And that cost us the election.
I think we should elect a Dreamcast copy of Sonic Adventure 2 as the new candidate for Maine Senate. It'll win in a landslide. I promise.
Sonic Frontier is way better. I'm sorry. Sonic Frontiers, I would argue, the best 3D Sonic game is Sonic
David?
Frontiers. And not even
That's
David, this is more offensive than anything you've ever said in the history of your channel.
I haven't even told you how overrated I think Sonic is generally. Oh my god.
Wow.
I would agree with you there in some regards, though. Just Sonic Frontiers.
You want
I
to
don't
compare
know.
Sonic to Mario? Are you fucking?
No, I mean like compared
not even
to like
close.
Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure is much better.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about
Then
the
Frontiers, no.
milkshake place this whole time. Oh,
The what?
Oh my God, Zed, I gotta tell you something really funny. So because I just followed you, it automatically accepted a message request you sent me that I've never seen before from 2023 and put it in my inbox on Twitter.
What did it say? What did it say?
Wonderful to meet and chat with you, man. I've never seen that.
don't air him out. Like, come on. That's mean.
It wasn't
so mean.
No, I'm not mocking him. I'm talking about how Twitter puts those things in that message request folder that I never look in.
First off, that was like after like a period of like, first off, 2023 was when I blew up. So that was like a period of like 15
No, that's
years
a nice,
of me being
that's a
like
nice
nobody.
post to set. I probably say that to people when I'm on a show with them for the first time. That's not. I'm not making. I'm mocking how Twitter accepted that message request that I've never seen because they have that stupid message request folder.
Just for the record, I never look at my message requests if anybody has tried to reach out, because if I click on that folder, I will see at least 5 different messages, all starting with the F slur. So I do not look at that for my own mental health. You have no idea. It might be worse than Facebook. So,
Facebook's bad too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Facebook's bad.
Yeah,
Facebook is so bad. The amount of people telling me that I need to find Jesus is fucking crazy. Abandon your homosexuality. Find Jesus. It's like, well, that's the one that convinced me. I just needed that push over the edge.
Yeah, he is shredded.
My
Come
God.
on.
Thank you. I wasn't thinking about it at all, and now this random Facebook guy has helped me.
It's like,
I
shit,
feel a lot better.
that's the sign from the Lord. Bob from fucking, I don't know, Tuscaloosa, Alabama was like, you slur, you need to turn to the Lord. Okay, well, when you put it that way, maybe I
It's kinda
will.
funny. It's kind of funny because like I've gotten a lot of like messages from Nigerian princes. It's crazy how many
Have you
there
really?
are online. No. Fucking, I'm joking.
Oh, I was gonna say I've never gotten one from a Nigerian prince. I
You
get them
could.
from Southern princes in the United States who are
Oh,
wearing their
okay.
fucking overalls with no undershirt on their mobility scooters in their profile pics.
Turn to Jesus.
Turn to Jesus. Repent.
Yeah.
I'll stay for some of the super chats.
Okay, David, did you want to go first just in case you wanted to dip?
Oh, I'm not streaming right now, so I don't got chats.
Oh, okay. Well then, Lance, did you want to go? You usually read yours first.
Sure. Yeah, I only have a couple. I can go quickly. Thank you so much to the Prairie Fire Neb, aka Kowalski, talked with Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes today. Unfortunately, he bested the devil in a fiddle contest, and the price of darkness is going to let him live to see the court go 7-2, the full dark
Damn,
time.
bro.
Damn.
That's the thing people don't know about Mitch McConnell. He's really good at fiddle. He's like an amazing fiddle player.
Is he actually?
No, he's fucking in a hospital somewhere. What are you talking about?
With me, I don't know.
No, I just meant from like long ago, like old footage of like in the way Ben Shapiro is. Like I don't know if you've ever heard it. He's actually not terrible. As
No,
you
he's
know.
terrible. He's terrible. Like he's objectively one of the worst. Like him
Fiddle
and
or
his dad
violin?
are like.
Oh, I
on
guess that is
everything.
violent. You're right.
How would
His
Mitch
dad-
McConnell even play the fiddle with that neck? It would get
He plays it
swallowed.
with his neck. He plays it with it. He's just you know.
Oh, God.
That's the bow. His neck. You know, it's funny. If you touch Miss McConnell's neck, then it's like, oh my God, a thin layer of resin, and it's really good at, you know.
Mike left.
Yeah, that was too much for him. Aaron Templar 2303. Thank you so much for the very generous $20. There's a lot I didn't know about Plattner because I don't live in Maine and wasn't following the race too closely. But when the Totem Kampf affair, I got a lot of play. I decided that he was either a liar or an idiot. Yeah, or a monster.
Sorry, I had to let my dog off of his little couch. He was hot in here, and he's too old to jump down.
That's fair. Super Duberful, thank you for the £5. The Plattner obsession was a weird mix of unreflected American imperialism and the allure of a burly white manly man on the left. Yeah, I think everyone also wanted an attack dog for the people who liked him. That's, I think, one of the... I was trying to figure it out because I didn't understand why. Like, to me, he was really off-putting, but like, I understand when you hate someone or you like someone, you just view them in a completely different lens until that switches. So, but I think it's because they wanted a soldier boy who can be on the attack.
I think if anybody like they should check out your video on it because I watched that on like a hike like yesterday and I was like, this is a really good analysis. It's a really good like just blah analysis of everything that like you would think of and going through all the stages of it and figuring out where to. Yeah, I thought it was fire. I sent you a message on it.
I second that. I like that you also like you talked about your fuck ups as well. Like, hey, I promoted Illuminati. We all eat shit because it's like, that's the thing. It's like there's always this fear that people are going to think, oh, you're trying to promote yourself as if you're holier than thou. When it really is about like we need to hold each other accountable and like you do the same to me, I do the same to you.
We become more powerful, like altogether, right?
1000%.
Yeah, especially on an international level.
Yeah.
Luke Digner, thank you so much for the $10. Need something like an accountability network, aka the Creator Accountability Network.
I don't even know what that is.
Welcome to the TikTok Creator Accountability Program. Have you posted something in the last 3 weeks?
That would be a fucking shit show.
Oh my God.
Eskibot68, thank you so much for the $10. Sorry, your paler co-hosts still don't seem to get it. I've occasionally thought about that one Thursday while Lance was AFK and the talk turned to Plattner cheering. Time to sit and listen, folks. Agreed that we need to definitely listen. Luke Degner, Thank you so much for the $10. Talking about the left collectively is very ambiguous because centrists are conflating the left, aka the left, with objective morality. Centrists use subjective morality. Yeah, and I said before when we were talking about this topic, I don't care at all about centrists or liberals' opinions on Plattner or about this at all. Like, I've seen what makes you cheer. Like, at the end of the day, if it's a Zionist, just like, I told you so. I was like, oh, what? So you just want to like pick a different baby killer? Like, you go fuck yourself. It's people within our community where I'm like, oh shit. And that's the same thing when that's why I was trying to pick up when I fucked up. When you start to see that it's like, people you respect being like, this is wrong, then you're like, oh, okay, that's fucked up. Narrator 6896, thank you for the dancing lemon. Narrator 6896, all counterintelligence programs are bastards. Also, Cosmopolitics, thank you very much for rating us. Hello to the Cosmopolitics viewers. Everyone go to twitch.tv Cosmopolitics. Kevin Logan, thank you for rating us. Everyone go check out Kevin Logan 1875. Yanni Mays, thank you. Prong 999, thank you. Take it away, someone else. I am finito.
All right. Ariana, Matt, any preferences? Who goes first?
I can go, although I did get a lot. For the sake of everyone's sleep, I'm not gonna really. I'm gonna obviously respond, but I'm not gonna engage super deeply because.
Yeah, there's a ton. We won't. Unfortunately, we all won't probably be able to engage that much because there's 130, and we usually get around 40. So there's. Okay. So we're probably just gonna have to read them. And move on to Ariana said, "Send me super chats," and they were like. Your request is hard.
No, you want to know what's so funny? They actually didn't even send the super chats until we started debating. That's
really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It might be hard for me to keep up. I'm wondering if putting them on the screen, like it might just be easier to read them in the background because putting them on the screen might be kind of hard. I could try to follow along the best that I can. If you tell me your first one, Ariana.
Narrator.
And also, do you have a timestamp? Does it say the time that it was sent? Like 6:12? No.
Maybe you're 6:12. I'm on Eastern time. But it
sorry, I'm gonna go. Good night.
Oh, take care, David.
Good night.
Oh, okay. It is gonna be Eastern time. All right. So this is the first narrator one that I'm seeing.
No, it's taking a victory lap over a credible grape allegation.
Okay. There's so much.
It's okay. I can just read, and then if you find it, you find it. Narrator said taking a victory lap over a credible grape allegation. It's not really taking a victory lap. It's just calling out what it was for what it was. Because, again, if you enjoy killing, then you are probably, like, I wouldn't put anything past you at that point. Spam Tana, thank you so much for the 10. Yes, you're there. Spam Tana, thank you so much for the $10. I never dragged your name, but on behalf of the white people who won't apologize, you were right. Spam is my day one. I love you. Thank you so much. 1,000 yen, Tokyo Hans, thank you so much. For the record, I never said anything for your take on Plattner, so I ain't apologizing for anything, but here's some money. Anyways, because you're amazing.
Tokyo Hans with the 1,000 yen. That's sick.
Thank you so much. I don't know how much that is in American, but that means so much. Thank you.
It's like $1.50.
I think it's like $10, right?
It's like a cat. It's like a pack of I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
$6. Six respectable dollars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can buy a pack of One Piece with it. It's good.
I mean, that's like a normal super chat. It's nothing. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like I'm mocking Tokyo House.
You're shitting on the Islamic
It's a nice amount of money to give someone, without a doubt. But 1,000 yen makes it look like you're like, she can go out and buy herself like a fucking iPhone or some shit.
Big Wig, thank you so much for the Canada 25. I was behind you the whole time and I caught flack for it too, LMAO. There's no fun in being vindicated though, because it all sucks so much. No, it really does. And again, now they're gonna have to find. I think they did find someone to replace Plattner unofficially, but
there's a lot of people running.
Yeah,
currently,
it's a shit show. It's a shit show, and again, it goes back to that same conversation where it's like, if you have so many skeletons in your closet, go become chief of staff. Don't run for such a pivotal spot at such a pivotal moment.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's that. Some white man. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. Rev Joe, thank you so much for the $5. Never even been here before, but fuck it, here's $5. Take your lap. Wow, thank you, Rev Joe. Welcome in. That must have been Mike's title. Angel J, thank you so much for the $5. Didn't diss, but you deserve this. Thank you so much. That rhymed. Thank you for the $5. Wanda, thank you so much for the $2. You and Mike were right. Thank you. Thank you. JHLFSD, $10. The most galling part was being called anti-veteran, as if a privately educated upper class mercenary with nothing but other opportunities reflects the story of most veterans who had no other options. I think that's such a phenomenal point as well. I think the American military complex is incredibly predatory towards marginalized communities, marginalized zip codes, people of color. They also use their socialist programs to bring in people who need that money. And again, Graham Plattner was not that. And that's just what I always go back to. It's like that. He just wasn't, it wasn't adding up. Anyways, thank you so much for the $10. Narrator, thank you so much for the $10. Referring to Emma, the real trap is these are not prepared statements. She was in the moment trying to find an analogy, not necessarily trying to use shock for. No, I totally believe it. And listen, like I said,
That's
I
fair.
really like.
And we love Emma.
We love Emma. I have nothing against Emma, but here's the thing: I would hope that my fellow leftists would tell me if I do something that doesn't sit right with them, because I have genuinely learned so much when people have respectfully called me out. So
same.
Also-
It's hard to take
also
it sometimes, but yeah, it's necessary.
There's
Is this
also
about
something to
the
be said-
that
there's about
analogy she made with the
but also
secret Nazi thing?
Yeah, but also there's something to be said. I don't think that people were when I was saying that it was for shock. I wasn't mean that she was trying to be sensationalist for sensationalist purposes, right? Like a lot of times when you're on podcasts or you're on live stuff, right? You're trying there's a way in a presentational format where you're trying to keep the host's job is to keep the audience's attention. Right. And so I wasn't trying to say that she's being obtuse or rude or and even I don't think anybody here was trying to accuse her of being in bad faith there, but she swung and it was just a miss. And we're just trying to,
It's because that's the one analogy that doesn't work because the point she's making, and it's 100% what I believe too, is that it doesn't matter what's in someone's heart when it comes to a politician. It matters how they vote, and it matters what they actually do. But the thing with secret Nazi is they wouldn't have the right votes because their Nazi ideology would make it not possible for them to vote the correct way. So it's like the one analogy is the one example that doesn't work in that analogy, and that's just what her brain went to.
Yeah, it's like when David says that Sonic isn't as good as Mario. We all make mistakes. It's okay. We have to be able to forgive people and move on. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tidge Rigger. I don't know. 200 something. I don't know what that is.
I think that's rupees, right?
Thank you so much for the 200 rupees. I appreciate it. Why are we not naming Kyle and Emma? They gaslit likes of Ariana, saying influenced by APAC, someone who had multiple tours, killed brown people, aggressive behavior with women, all patterns missed. Honestly, I don't really know what Emma said about Graham Plattner. I just know that both Emma and Kyle were very much against Plattner. Again, that goes back to the same conversation that people need to sit down and listen when people of color give their commentary as well, because there was a huge divide between the Black folks and the people of color and the Middle Eastern people and how we felt about Plattner, and the divide between the white leftists and how they were speaking about Plattner. Now, this is interchangeable because obviously not everyone falls into this bucket, but there was a huge divide between leftist commentators and how we felt about Plattner. And I think that's again, people need to self-reflect, which is the point that I was making. You need to reflect. You know what I mean? We all have
wasn't
our
a
own
coincidence
biases.
that the demographics lined up that way.
It was not a coincidence because all of the commentators who were people of color, damn near most of them were we are unequivocally not supporting Plattner because he has so many red flags. And that should have our allies should have stood with us, in my opinion. That might be a little far for some of you, but when so many brown people are saying this is too much of a red flag and everyone's like, I still like his policies. That's not solidarity. It's just not. It doesn't feel like solidarity in my opinion. But anyways, I'm not gonna harp on this. Thank you so much for the 200 rupees. Gohuku, thank you so much for the $10. Thanks for holding it down. Selective accountability is unacceptable. I appreciate it. Thank you. Narrator, thank you so much for the $10. All this anti-racism talk, y'all are ready to talk about how many of you villainized Jasmine Crockett and put her under a microscope because the white boy scout was more electable in Texas? No, gotcha.
What? I didn't like either of them. What?
Okay. I understand what you're putting across. I personally, I was in a group chat for, Jasmine, creators for Jasmine Crockett, all of that, and I did my due diligence on
Ariana.
Jasmine Crockett. Huh?
Ew.
No. That was during the Iran war.
I hate both of them.
No. I wanted to genuinely see what the things that were being said in the group chat was and what the criticism outside was. And Jasmine Crockett is a Zionist. I don't care what people say. She's a fucking Zionist. And for me, I morally cannot stand by that. So I've met Jasmine Crockett. I think she's phenomenal. I think she's an extremely smart person. I also think that she did not stand in the places that I needed her to morally stand. And it's just that simple.
And keep in mind, and I think other people have also defended and understood that you can say that there was still like bad faith in some of that race, and also understand that criticism of Jasmine Crockett isn't default racism, right? Like, there are plenty of people on this, and me included, who called out the racism against her, but at the same time criticized some of her policies and some of her work as a politician. Because as a politician, she also made statements that upset not only like Palestinian communities, but I think Hispanic communities too, right? So there's a lot of things.
I mean,
that she said that
not even
was,
just she was racist against. She's extremely racist against Latino people. Yes,
and it's not. And again, like there are plenty of ways that Jasmine Crockett, like let's be nuanced. There are plenty of ways that Jasmine Crockett is like Ariana said, like a really smart person, really phenomenal, counterpuncher when it comes to her
She's
work.
A great speaker.
Great speaker. Yeah. Right. And there are plenty of ways where James Tallarico is deficient, right? But he was a better politician. He was a better campaigner, right? That doesn't mean criticism is not immediately tied to race. All right. Like, there are plenty of times where there's dog whistles, right? And I understand you're trying to search them out, but there were plenty of things that were not related to Jasmine Crockett and her identity that made her deficient in the eyes of a lot of people. And I think that's fair to call out. You can call out the racism, and you can call out her own deficiencies as a candidate.
I mean, listen, I had my own issues with the morality stances that she took, because her team was also kind of like, oh, well, she's not a Zionist, she didn't take money from AIPAC, which actually, in my opinion, makes it worse, because okay, so you were voting for bombs for the love of the game then, you weren't even tied to any money. You know what I mean? So there were red flags that I was like, all right, I don't like Tallarico. I don't love what Jasmine Crockett is putting across when it comes to Middle Eastern lives. I'm just going to stay out of this. It was also during the Iran war, and I was going a little insane. So I was like, I don't have time for this.
One thing I'll say about that race is I was a little bit struck by how leftists were much more hard on her for her Zionism compared to James Tallarico, who's also 100%. A Zionist who took money from Miriam Adelson. But I think that in retrospect, even though I didn't understand it at the time, the leftists were probably right to back James over her overall, just at least from a policy standpoint. But I think that, to Narrator's point, it is fair to say that she probably was, she got much more heat for Zionism than Tallarico. I think 100%. It's fair that you could say it's because he's a white man, perhaps. He's a Christian, perhaps, maybe. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'll grant you that for sure. Overall, both shitty candidates. I did not like either one of them. I don't think I made a single video about them, so I didn't really like. If you're like, that's why my initial response was like, "What are you talking about?" Because at least for me, I did not really weigh in on that race because I was not enthusiastic about either of them. So just hopefully, because I didn't want to be like a dick when I read it, I was like, or when you read it, I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I weighed in from a horse race standpoint, but I didn't know. I didn't know that he was a Zionist. I think you were 100%. I don't have to drag this out, but I think you were 100% correct earlier when you were talking about it, Ariana. How a lot of people just fetishize anti-Zionism. Like they were just like, oh well, I'm gonna be pro-Palestine. It's this like trendy thing for them to have, as opposed to understanding like the material reasons and the actual like support for that movement and activism. And I think that's it's very frustrating how that plays out, because I think there's a lot of people who yeah, of course, like the double standard of like going harder on her for her Zionism versus Tallarico is very telling.
I do appreciate narrator. Narrator always holds us accountable and calls us out. 50% of the time, narrator is spot on, and I think he has legitimate criticisms. The other 50% of the time, they are completely fucking wrong. But I appreciate narrator because
I'm just kidding.
I think that the dialogue is important, right? So
100%, yeah. I do think a lot of what Jasmine
Fuck
Crockett
off, Zed.
did say-
Fetishism is saying, yeah, a lot of white people fetishize my culture and other people's culture. So you can suck the back of my dick with that. Whoever the fuck wrote that. Suck the back of my dick. I'll give you my address. You can come here. You can suck both nuts. Fuck out of here. Little bitch ass.
Wait, that's two different things, though.
Okay,
true.
not.
That's
I
true.
don't want to talk
That's
about
true.
the male. I don't want to talk about his male anatomy. Like,
I'm sorry about that. All right, somebody
You're
said something.
No, we're about to have a hardcore debate right now, as spirited as the platinum one about Zion.
No, I apologize. I was just like that just really pissed me off. Somebody said that shit. I was fucking out of pocket.
Yeah, Zed, I have to snap sometimes too at the chat if somebody gets out of line and they say something out of pocket. So it's totally okay.
Okay, guys.
There's been like 3 super chats already where I wanted to just go all out.
By the way,
put
we
out-
have. You want to know?
Stopping
You want to know how
myself.
much progress
Stopping
we've made? We have 136 now.
So I need to rapid fire through this chat.
So we do unfortunately have to wrap it up, folks. Please do not send any more, because there's a chance we might not be able to read all of them. I'm gonna try for
If you
sure.
want to send
but
more, go ahead. We just may not read it, but you should still send it because
There's a lot.
These are expensive. Okay, so I'm gonna rapid fire. I promise. I'm really good at rapid firing. Okay, V-Man, thank you so much for the $10. I want to clarify this because I've seen a lot of uninformed people. The process for choosing replacement falls upon the state party, not the national. Schumer can scream from the top of Mount Mercy. Oh no, trust me, we know that they're very, very useless. But thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate it. Kowalski.
But it also depends who runs the state party. Like, I don't know enough about the Maine's Democratic Party to say anything here, but if this was, for example, like the New York City establishment having to replace someone pre-Mamdani, I wouldn't trust whoever they picked.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Yes. Kowalski, well, I'm eating some humble pie right now. I stand by my view that we should be leaning in on actions of 25 and under and open to redemption, though I think I was blinded wanting to see a populist model in rural areas. Well, he was also your fellow farmer, so I don't blame y'all. But hey, now when there's such a big divide between people of color and white people in the commentators, lock in. Okay. Going past that. V-Man, thank you so much for the $10. For who he wants to replace Plattner and Maine Dems can say no. This will be a matter of who has the most connections with the local state party, and thankfully DSA backed Troy Jackson. Yes, that's who DSA backed that I was talking about. Hopefully he wins. I don't know. Thanks so much for the $10. Lex Loomis, thank you so much for the $10. Every POC could have told you that this was coming with Plattner. Binder's out of pocket for that. I don't think I don't like calling people out like that. And I don't think that's necessarily 100% because obviously Matt did not go in with Majority Report and fully back Plattner and stuff like that. But again, when that rift does happen, I think we need to do a lot more reflecting. Matt, do you have anything you want to say to that?
We can keep going. I do, but we'll be here all night. We can keep going.
Okay. Member for 14 months. Thank you so much. Counterintelligence program, 100%. Thank you so much for becoming a member or being a member for 14 months. We need to vet candidates more before we suck with a wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh, look at Fetterman. That's a perfect example. We can have that again. Yeah. So thanks so much for $5. That's exactly why I did not back Plattner. And that's exactly what I quoted was Fetterman. I am scarred from Fetterman and I always will be.
I don't think, and not to go too far in, but I don't think it's an equivalent scenario. I don't think we're dealing with someone who's lying about their politics. I think we're dealing with someone whose politics are legitimate, what he says they are now, but his personal, what he's done in his life makes him unelectable and unsupportable. I think that's very different from Fetterman.
Oh God, we're gonna debate again. Let me know. I don't have a response chat. We're gonna be here all night. Okay. Columbia Rican. We need to. Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the $5. Lex Loomis, thank you so much for the $5. Bender and Dole's behavior right now is the reason why POC leftists like us are so fed up right now. Can we not? I don't like the individual call outs. Like, we were having a very productive, in my mind, discussion. I think discussions like this need to happen. And I think the points that we made were driven. So on both ends.
I'm gonna bow out real quickly so things can go quicker.
Smart spot to jump.
I saw somebody. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. Lovely chatting with y'all. And yeah, thank you. And I'm not Zed Jelani. All right, talk to you guys soon.
Bye, Zed Jelani.
Bye.
I mean Tabani.
Bye.
I'm just kidding.
Bay Photo, $5. Can I contribute to the apology fund even though I would never say anything bad about any of y'all? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $5. Shit, not you again. It's okay. Shit, not you again. $2. So Plattner Swalwell 2028. Yeah. You should see yourself out with that one. That's crazy. Although I wouldn't
Listen, could they beat JD Vance? All right, let's.
Oh man, narrator, thank you so much for the $5. With Fetterman, it was mostly Dr. Oz and Trump, but just like Plattner, it was Collins and Trump. It was about the opportunity and the optics. Yeah. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Sorry, I gotta get through these. Tigwig, thank you so much for the $50, Canada. I'm just gonna leave this here. It's been a long episode. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. The Breaker of Walls, $5. We need more Ariana running for Congress. LOL. Hardcore female leftists that don't run into a Graham problem. Honestly, I fear I've talked way too much shit on the internet to be able to run seamlessly, but I mean, I don't have his type of skeletons. But anyways, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Narrator, thank you so much for the $10 on combat veteran thing. I bet there's an interesting through lines between leftists who actively root against the U.S. and things like the World Cup, those that want to win a game versus those that want to build.
Narrator saying to call me out stealthily. I see you, narrator. Narrator called me out for rooting against the U.S. a couple of weeks ago. I see what you're doing, narrator.
I was hardcore rooting for the U.S. Let me tell you, and I went off on them when they lost so embarrassingly. That was embarrassing. Embarrassing.
That's what you get for rooting for them. I'm just kidding.
Hey, if U.S. did well, it would undoubtedly
take care, Lance.
It undoubtedly would have been good for soccer in the United States. I mean, I still think this World Cup has gone swimmingly well. And being that it happened mostly in the U.S., soccer has grown here in the past couple of weeks. I do think it's been a big deal. But if the U.S. team did good and they weren't going to win the World Cup, but even if they got eliminated respectably, it would have been even better for soccer here in the U.S. And that's why I was rooting for them.
That's fair,
but what they did was embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Yes. Okay. We are more than halfway through, so doing good here. Dijnami, or thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. Some good news. I'm unionizing my workplace. Congratulations. Best of luck to you. Keep us updated, please.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's awesome.
V-Man, thank you so much for the $5. I will say international left has been critical of the U.S. left in general. They point out how tone deaf they are in the U.S. with colonial possessions. Yeah. I mean, it's a whole thing. Honestly, we can even go into the conversation about how people of color in America perpetuate imperialism within the globe as well. Because like when it doesn't matter, like if you're a U.S. military person, you occupy Iraq, but you're a person of color, you're still in that imperialist entity and doing work in that imperialist entity. So it's very layered. It's extremely layered, right? And there's so much nuance into it, and that we can have that conversation for days. But thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Calibrating 770, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Narrator, thank you so much for the $5. A little bit before 129, Mike says the thing that he needs to be edited out to not get demonized. Oh God, what did you say?
I don't remember what I said. There's every single show I say at least 10,000 things that need to be edited out so I don't get demonized. So I don't know.
Whatever you said, it
help me
probably wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. I put my foot in
Narrator's
my
just
mouth every week.
busting your balls today, man.
Narrator likes to mess with me sometimes. We have that kind of a relationship. It's okay.
Yeah, the narrator's busting your balls. V-Man, thanks so much for the $5. Because of this, actually made 20-question quiz on Puerto Rico because I got sick and tired of U.S. leftists and their tone. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks so much for $5. That sounds really interesting, though. V-Man, thanks so much for $5. This is the first question of the quiz. Which of these isn't a town in Puerto Rico? Barceloneta, Florida, Naguabo, Puerto Plata? I do not know. Does anyone here know? I wouldn't.
Well, it looks like Ariana won't be endorsed by any leftists.
I think a part of being a leftist is admitting that you don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know.
agree.
If I had to guess, I would say
about
Florida.
The idea of like a litmus test. That's all.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
go with Florida too, actually.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. But I'm
Narrator-
very ignorant about Puerto Rico.
It could be a
but to
trick
fair, I'm
question.
very
Though, 'cause
ignorant about
Florida
the
seems
United
like
States.
the obvious choice, right?
It
Yeah,
could be.
yeah. That's true.
It could be. Thank you so much for the $5. Narrator, thank you so much for the $5. The problem isn't with left thinking that we need a consensus on what is red flags and what is red lines.
I mean,
Agreed.
I don't agree. But
Wait,
if
the
I'm-
problem
if,
with left thinking we need
if I'm interpreting that correctly, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm just like dragging us down.
No, you're fine. I
It
feel
might be
like
too-
it's up for interpretation, to be honest.
My brain might not
Personally-
be capable of processing things this late. So
Personally, for me, narrator, this is a huge red flag, and this comment in general is my red line. All right, so let's move on.
Thank you for the $5. Colombia, Rican, thank you so much for the $2. Exactly, awesome point. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Arashael, thank you so much for the $5. I'm half Iranian, so Ariana's saying that. Thank you for always speaking up for Mino lives, even when you get talked over by white men who can't take it all. Guys, chat be nice. No,
It's okay,
guys,
we can take it.
I was not being spoken. I mean, to be fair, we were all speaking up.
I can't find
over
their.
each other.
I can't find their super chat though.
It's okay. I'm gonna keep going through. To be fair, we were all kind of speaking over each other at one point, but I'm always gonna stand for my people. Thank you so much for the $5, though. I appreciate you. Welcome to the chat. V-Man, thank you so much for the $2. Mike totally has the beard of a conquistador.
I found that one.
He just needs one of those little like hats or helmets that they wore. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I did find the other one as well, by the way.
Oh yay! Okay,
Okay, I just want to spotlight. Okay.
that was. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay.
Wait, now that I'm seeing this comment, they talk about me. I think what I've consistently said that in this country specifically, a large portion of this country, while racism obviously still exists, there is a significant portion of this country that has come to terms with how this country has treated Black people, Black Americans, African Americans, whereas that same mea culpa has never happened for how this country has treated Arabic people, Muslim people, Middle Eastern people. That is 100% why I've said that consistently. So the idea that that would be me, I don't even see, because we're talking about the Plattner situation. I'm sorry, I don't know anyone else who talked over Ariana, but just me. So I don't, whatever. Ridiculous.
Okay. I lost where I was at. Naomi Francis, thank you. No, Far Twain. Far Twain is next. Far Twain. I never trusted Graham either. But I don't trust troops. That's because I hate troops. Okay. Y'all are literally saying the most debatable things in all these super chats, and I'm trying so hard to get through them. Listen, I just want to be very clear. I don't have anything against American troops. I have an issue with the broader scope of American imperialism and our military complex, and I understand that there's a lot of nuances in why people join the military. If you are a veteran that has seen the light, I respect it. my issue is the veterans that go and they perpetuate these things and they have no issue with it. Like, that's kind of where my line starts. My red line starts getting created, right? Because if you're proud of going on deployment and killing people, then like you can get the fuck out of my face. Like, it's that simple. Naomi Francis, thank you so much for the $5. Ariana is always having the best takes. I'm so glad I found your content. We really need more voices like you in these spaces. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you. Joseph Kerr, thank you so much for the $5. Ari, you brought the fire this episode. It was very needed. Hopefully it's received as light knowledge instead of burning rivet. Of course. We're all good here, guys. We're all good. We just sometimes get into debates. It's fine. Thank you so much for the $5. Narrator, $10. Thank you so much. Small story, not a big deal, but ICE threatening poll workers at poll stations because of social media criticisms is telling them to sign pledges is probably not something we need to pay attention to. I mean, ICE has been ramping out this whole entire week, so that doesn't surprise me. But yes, thank you for bringing light to it. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $10. Old Man in Philly, thank you for the $5. Thank you for dropping some needed truth. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in the chat as always. RMT Watcher, $20. Wow, thank you so much. I'd really hope for a nice redemption story, but doubted that that's how it would turn out. I'm sorry you caught so much flack from people. There were plenty of signs that Platts. It's okay. It is what it is. Thank you so much for the $20 and thanks for listening to me, chat. Narrator, thank you so much for the $10. It was the electability of a white boy over Crockett that fueled the criticisms of Crockett making a state race into a national leftist piece.
Okay, I think that's a fair point. I kind of see what they're saying there.
Do you?
I see what they're saying. Yeah.
I mean,
It's not as strong. Like, there's a through line, but it's more tenuous for sure. But I understand the point the narrator is trying to make there.
I just feel like when it comes to when people are calling out Jasmine Crockett repetitively in her campaign on her stances with Israel and how little she really did with her platform and all of the power that she had as a congresswoman to speak out against it, and people are still doing this whole white boy shit. Like, I'm sorry, it's very, I feel like it's almost, I said I was gonna go through this chats fast, and we will, but I feel like it's like you guys are speaking over Middle Eastern voices when you do that shit. Like, yes, I agree a lot of colorism had to do with what happened with Jasmine Crockett. No one here is debating that, but it's like, if you're just going to completely gloss over the fact that Jasmine Crockett was a congresswoman and could have done a lot while she was in Congress and deliberately chose not to because she knew she was going to run for Senate, and you're still making this argument to me, like, I'm over it. Thank you for the $10, but no, I'm not. No,
that's a fair rebuttal too. Yeah, I'm offended.
I think narrator is being facetious and using arguments that other people have made, because that's not the argument narrator usually makes. If it's the same person who usually uses that username.
Okay.
Narrator does like to play devil's advocate a lot, but
I mean that's something that we see happen though. That's the sort of weaponization of identity politics is something that does occur, and that's what narrator I think is making fun of here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's facetious. I don't know if it's like a joke or not, but narrator has spent a lot of money. Nothing against you, narrator. I just think I get triggered when people speak over Middle Eastern voices and they make other arguments where it's like, no, this is my argument, and we can talk about all the other nuanced points, but this is my argument. And this is the core reason why I'm making this argument. And it's just like, I just feel like a lot gets lost in the sauce in these conversations. Anyways, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate you, narrator. Thank you. Blue Witch, thank you so much for the $3. I appreciate it. V-Man, Puerto Plata is in the Dominican Republic. Oh, no, apparently there's a city called
that was
Florida.
a trick question. Shit.
It was a trick question. And I am done with super chats.
All right, Matt, did you want to go, or did you want me to go?
I refuse to believe there's still 100 super chats, and I assumed like 90% of them were Ariana's, because they should have been. She was the star of the show today, without a doubt, and because she was great. So Mike, you better hand over your super chat money, because I'm guessing the rest is all yours to Ariana, because that's she deserves it today. I only got a few too myself. I thought they were all Ariana's.
Did you want to read yours, Matt, or did you want me to?
I might as well, because I'm not going to sit here and go through your 100 after I'm done with my 13.
Okay, tell me the first one. And
you're alone.
It's
No,
okay.
I'm gonna stay.
No,
I'm
it's
just
so you
joking.
don't have to stay. You don't have to stay. But
I would
tell
never
me your
leave
first
you.
one.
I would never leave you by yourself to go through these people, these horrible people that watch this show, Mike.
Well, thank you, my friend.
All right, let's start.
As soon as you leave, they'll attack me. They'll prey on me. Okay, tell me the first one, Matt.
I love you guys so
Are you
much.
bouncing?
Yes, I am. By the way, guys, like, just so you guys know, this was a very, like, we do debate and it does get heated at times, but like, there's nothing but love in this group. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
Also,
like-
what fun would it be? Listen, sometimes I do play devil's advocate because what fun would it be to just sit here and be like, yep,
Yeah.
absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That wouldn't be fun. Yep. That wouldn't be fun. I'm
These
sorry, bad joke. I was the bad joke. I was yupping.
Like, I love Matt. I love Mike. I love everyone on this podcast. Period. Like, there's
Notice how she left out David.
No, everyone. I said everyone.
Well, David's not on this show. David's barely on this show.
I love Lance, David, Rebecca. I mean, I love everyone. It ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? But I
didn't
just
say
don't
Zed.
want people to think. Well,
I'm
he's
just, I'm,
not a
just, I'm just
regular.
kidding. I'm sorry. I get like
fine.
annoying when I'm delirious. Just tell me to shut the fuck up.
No,
And I
you're
will.
fine. You're fine. I just like there's are times where we don't agree with each other, whatever. Like there's nothing but love. So I don't want you guys to think like there's a secret animosity between us or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. Not at all. We are just political commentators. Sometimes we don't agree with each other, and at the end we shake hands virtually and we go to bed. So.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to think that there is some sort of like evil shit happening behind the doors.
Same for the
'cause-
chatters. We love the chatters, or at least most of the chatters who disagree in like a nice way, not like a mean way. We love you guys too, even if you
But
disagree.
this is
It's
a learning
important.
experience for everyone.
For everyone, yeah, for every single person,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, guys. I love you so much. Have fun.
You take care. Peace.
Bye.
Okay. Did you want to read them backwards, Matt? That might be easier to find them for me if I go backwards.
Oh yeah, sure. I could go backwards. I could
Okay.
go forwards, backwards, sideways. However
Yeah, because you probably I don't think you got them until you jumped on. So I'm assuming they're going to be in the later half. So maybe
sure.
you know what I mean. So tell me
Yep.
the last one you received.
Tokyo Han says, "Shout out to all the horrible people."
Damn, Tokyo.
Tokyo Han says, "Shout out to all the horrible people in the chat. We truly are scum, but it helps Matt keep doing what he does. Stay scummy." Oh, Tokyo Hans, you're great. You're great. Listen, I feel like everyone who watches me and knows me knows exactly who I am and how I am, and know exactly what I mean when I say the things I mean. I say.
Yeah,
Or do.
yeah.
Everyone knows I don't think you're scummy. Because I didn't say that. I said you were horrible people. No, I like everybody who watches this show, even if you don't like me. Emily Schmid, 7749, with a $10 super chat. Matt, I don't think they meant you for talking over Ariana. I think they might have meant Zed without realizing that he is Indian. Dude talked over everyone. No hate, just how he works. I don't think they were talking about Zed, to be honest. I appreciate you pretending they clocked him as that, but no, I don't think so. Because people are always complaining that I talk over everyone, which is honestly funny because I try to shut up as much as possible to let other people talk. And the second I chime in, everyone goes, "Oh, here comes Matt again to talk."
Yeah, I feel like if there is anyone with and we all kind of do it to an extent, I feel like I am the one who legitimately needs to not talk over people. I have a problem with that I try to work on. It's
No, I
hard
don't
because
think
I
you
get
do.
over animated. I feel like I do. I feel like I'm probably one of the worst people. I mean, we
I
all
think-
do a little bit, right? But I feel like I need to work on that the most, just like from my own self-reflection.
I think it's also hard to understand people talking over each other when it's a remote stream.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen because the latency issues are not going to perfectly match. I try to recognize that and give extra time to people, and then, in my opinion, you can get something even worse, which is the awkward silence that lasts for a couple of seconds when everyone's waiting to make sure the
Right.
person's point is done and that their stream caught up. So I'd rather actually interrupt and talk over people because at least it shows liveliness. Because someone clicks onto the YouTube channel and sees the six of us just staring at each other for a couple of seconds, then they're gonna switch off really quickly.
They're never gonna find dead air. Somebody did say, yeah, I do talk a lot. I do. I straight up do. Yeah. And poor Lance gets talked over more than anyone because his mic is always a little bit softer, and I boost it as much as I can in StreamYard, but he's still a lot more quiet. So I try to like shut up, but again, like, man, I'm right now I just keep talking. There's no need for it. Like, this is a problem.
The person who left the original comment says, I was definitely not talking about Zed. LOL. Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate you confirming though, because it actually makes everything a lot funnier that person thought it was Emily thought it was potentially Zed, which I feel like you're trying to be nice to me.
Yeah, they don't want you to feel called out.
No, I don't mind being called out. I like being called out. I like
Matt can take it.
I like the attention.
Matt was banned by Elon Musk. He thrives in being called out.
Oh, I think people are I don't know. I'm just in a mode where I'm like just not the same like connectedness to everything that I used to be in terms of like this whole about politics in general.
Yeah.
I'm much more, and I'm not saying this in a way that undermines the importance of actual policy in politics, but I'm way more blasé about these sorts of debates and conversations and discourse, because once you disconnect for a long period of time, like I did over the past year or so, you realize that none of this shit really matters, sadly, or for good and for bad. And these debates we have that we think are very meaningful actually just don't matter. I'm sorry. I know we want to believe they do, or people who hate having them are happy that they don't, but it's the truth. Disconnect for a little bit and you'll realize that every show you listen to, politics or otherwise, we are in a bubble and it's just not breaking through. It's just not. And that wasn't the case for the right for a while. And now I think it's actually happening to them too, where I don't think they are taking over. I think something happened along the lines where everything, it just became too much. It was information overload. It was the breaking apart of trusted systems, you could say, news media, corporate media, you could blame all that stuff. For the internet people, I actually think a lot of it was Elon Musk buying Twitter, and then all of these platforms just not caring about policing content. And I don't mean that in a censorial way. I mean that in a fact-checking way, where these companies no longer care to say like, hey, what you're reading now, we're going to let you read it, but this is inaccurate. They don't care anymore. And I think once those lines were blurred and you combine that with most people, and not just Americans, most people's media literacy, you'll find that unfortunately any sort of this intellectual debate or discussion just doesn't fucking matter, because it's not breaking through. It's just not cutting it anymore. You just got to fucking go out there and do. I mean, I think Mamdani is a great example of that. He didn't wade into like any of this shit. He stuck to his talking points of what he wanted to do and connected with people through things like the World Cup and the Knicks, and people fucking love him. I memean, he could have been online having debates about identity politics and going on, but he I don't mean just to single out identity politics. I'm just the first example that came to my mind.
I know what you're saying.
Talking about anything.
That's fair. Yeah,
he just
that's a fair
doesn't.
point.
And I mean, it's just, does he go on streams? Yeah, sure. Because I guess you still want to interact with people who watch those streams, but the broader public does not know about it. I can't even say they don't care. They don't even know about what we're talking about, what's going on. And it's not because they're uneducated, it's because they simply do not have the time or really, it is time straight up to go into to wade into this stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're definitely in a bubble for sure. Definitely.
All right, let's go back to super chats. I'm sorry.
Alrighty.
I got off on a tangent, but that's what I do.
Kowalski commented, he's like, the speed reading is going really well.
I mean,
it's hard for us to just like do that, but yeah, we'll try to pick it up. I'm sorry, Kowalski and everybody else. All right, who's your next one?
From the bottom, we got narrator with a super chat, $10 super chat. Thank you, narrator. Jasmine Crockett was bad. Okay, I paid money to say it. You are speaking over a black person that is only pointing out the racism. All right, I get what narrator's trying to do here. Narrator, I think you're speaking of crossing lines. I think you're crossing the line now with the. But I get what you're trying to do here, and I do think there's a difference between actually sincerely saying you should listen to people of color because of their lived experiences, and then there's a much more commonly, frequently used thing here that's used to shut up people, where you claim that very thing. A lot of centrists and moderates partake in that. I just saw a thing on Threads that was on Threads. Do you believe this shit? Now, really wading in here on Threads. One of the big fucking things right now is someone said that calling white leftists call black politicians the establishment because they really want to say the N-word. I mean, that's a perfect example. That's the perfect example of
that's a crazy take
of you weaponizing identity politics in a completely disingenuous way. And I get that's what narrator's trying to criticize here, but I feel like when you do it about 20 times in a row, then you're actually ruining your own point.
Yeah. Matt, do you want to take over so I can just go to the bathroom really quick and get some water?
Sure. I thought you were gonna be like, Matt, you want to just fucking take over so I can just get out of here and you could ramble on for hours?
Read all of them. I'll be right back.
I can't help myself. Max Danger, this is not a super chat, but he says, I'm not online, but here's Threads drama. To be fair, I never said I wasn't online. I said I've been less online. For someone like me, I don't think you, for people who know me, you guys know how online I used to be. I mean, I was talking about Gamergate like months before it broke through. And I was getting shit from Sam Cedar and Michael Brooks for talking about it at the time. Talk about a mea culpa. They said sorry to me for not taking that seriously for years afterwards. And I don't think that's even necessary. I mean, I spiked the football a little bit because why not? But I don't think it's necessary to apologize for not being able to see the future. I just don't. All right, let's see. We got super quick. What is this? Super quick. Where? I can't. Here we go. Super quick. Deathstroke MC says, Zionist Wesley Bell is being sued for assault, battery, and negligence. Is that true? I don't know enough about that. Is it? What are the allegations? And if they rise to such a level, again, I'm not going to go into it because I don't know what the assault and battery is, but.
Okay, sorry.
Goofy Goober Prime with a $10 super chat. Finally, a conversation I want to talk about. Hey, Matt, what two teams do you believe will be the finalists for the World Cup? Also, you have some banger shirts. Show them more often. Oh, thank you. I will. Why not? Who I believe will be the finalists is different from who I want to be the finalists. I believe it is likely we'll see a rematch between France and Argentina from last World Cup. That looks to be the way things are going, quite frankly. Do I want to see that? You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing it. It's not my first choice, but I do think it'd be a really good match. What I would like to see is anyone versus Norway. I want Norway to take it all the way so bad. I was at the Norway-Brazil game. I went to the World Cup game. I did not pay for the ticket. I went there as a journalist. just before anyone starts talking about me being hoity-toity and paying for thousands of dollars for World Cup seats. I would not have went if I wasn't given a ticket for my job. And I was really impressed with Norway. They played against Brazil and eliminated Brazil in a way that I did not know that Norway team was capable of. And also Holland is fucking amazing. He seems like, not only is he amazing on the pitch, but he's looks to be an amazing person in real life. He seems like an actual good dude. And it's not very often that a major athlete who's 6'5" and looks like he does seems to be a good person. Maybe someone will come out with something and use this against me and say I have to apologize for saying Erling Haaland looks to be like a good guy. But as far as I know, he seems like a good person. The synopsis with the member super chat. Great show today. How has it been 3 years following you, Matt? I don't know. I don't know how it's been 3 years, but I appreciate it. And thank you for the support, the synopsis. Old Man Philly. Thanks for my Thursday Binder fix, Emma on Leftist Mafia. Instead of calling Emma's backup band the MMBBs, could we go with MB squared? That's actually what we called Matt and Mike Mondays for a little bit. If you go way back to when Michael Brooks and myself would host the Majority Report on Mondays. See, way back when Sam would take off on Mondays to give himself a 3-day weekend. And so the day where the B team would take over was Mondays. And so people would call it MB squared. So I don't think we could use that because Michael Brooks is the MB squared. But I appreciate the idea. Toy Box Brie with a super chat. Pick me Mitch needs to make up his mind already. Kowalski, the super chat. Mike is sitting high being right now, but little does he know that he promoted me. And when the cringe of my farmers only page is made public, it will shake the whole mafia like an animated triangle. Tokyo Hans with a 200 yen super chat. Here's like 2 cents, Matt. I appreciate the callback. That's great. I want to be clear. I wasn't making fun of you for being cheap because I don't think you are. You give a lot via super chat. I was making fun of yen for fooling Americans. I guess we should make fun of Americans then for looking at yen and
definitely.
seeing, 1,000 yen. That must be a lot of money. Although it is pretty funny, I just said I was mocking yen.
I know what you were saying, though. It is Americans that take the L.
I like the concept of mocking a monetary value. Tropical Ding Dong with a super chat. Onion headline. DNC vows to replace Graham Plattner with establishment grapist. Foresto Montero with a super chat. The way the initial story about Plattner's exes left out the big story makes me suspicious that he was an op from the beginning. No, I don't think. I think we did not get conspiratorial or anything like that. I think no. And someone pointed out before that how can I call him say he still had his politics were legit and leftist when he worked for Blackwater or whatever. And I think that's also misconstruing what I'm saying. Whether or not you whatever you call his politics, whether you consider them to be leftist or not, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what he believes and what he espoused, however you want to classify it. I think he wasn't lying about that. That's all I'm saying. And we also have to get beyond the idea that this guy couldn't have had these politics because of insert whatever it is that you don't like about him. And there's a number of things, obviously, because leftists can do bad things. People on the left can, unfortunately, do bad things like the things Plattner is being accused of or the things that are in Plattner's history. We can't have this like fallacy where like no true leftist or whatever. It seems wrong. Betty Buccaneer with a $10 super chat. Hello there. Thank you, Betty. That's the most controversial statement that's been said all night. Tokyo Hans with another super chat. I feel like McConnell had his one foot in the grave for so long that he has been trying to out caskets like shoes. One day, my constant "he must be rolling in his grave" jokes will finally come true. Yeah. Amateur. I can't read the rest of their username because it's being cut off. Amateur something. Amateur. Do you see it? Oh, there we go. Amateur Pawn with a super chat. It's been a full-on week from the online left. People have been tense. I think we should all come together, hold hands, and dance on Mitch's grave. We can't even do that. We can't even do that, though.
We could preemptively dance because we know it's coming, right? Like he's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I think we could celebrate a little bit, and then when we get the actual headline, then we have the biggest celebration ever. And I won't be even controversial for doing that. Everybody will be with me for being happy about somebody dying because that man is objectively a demon. So it'll be nice. Even liberals will be like, and some conservatives will be happy. So it'll be a big day for the country.
But we don't want to party with the conservatives who are happy because they don't like him because they feel like, and this is insane to me, they feel like he's not right wing enough.
Yeah, they have no idea what he did for them.
He's like the fucking kingpin of everything that happened that in their favor. Like him, you could like tie everything back to like Mitch McConnell, Newt Gingrich, and a couple other people in that like gang of foes. That really, I don't know what else to call them.
No, I mean like if we could get somebody on the left half as effective, like at the institutional level, at the procedural level as Mitch McConnell, we would be in such a different place as a country.
Yeah, but you didn't support him. So, I mean, Graham Plattner can't become...
Too soon.
I mean, listen, I'm saying that just to be an asshole and to joke around. But also, I hate to say it, only someone with sort of inscrutable morals could be someone like that, honestly. Because Mitch McConnell goes beyond like playing.
I don't necessarily agree.
Mitch McConnell went beyond playing the game. He was just
I don't agree.
Morally, like I think AOC is a good example of someone who's plays smart politics. That's not Mitch McConnell.
No. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Okay, who's next?
I don't even know. I'm trying to say. For us though, says in fun news, someone wrote a serious article about how Hassan found a way to force McConnell to reveal whether he's alive by claiming to be sexting him. Are you serious?
I gotta
Someone
find this.
took that seriously?
He says they wrote a serious article. Okay, I'll check that out. That's funny if true.
All right, let's go to the next. If you could find that though, I'm trying to. I can't find it while I'm trying to talk though. Tropical Ding Dong with the super chat. I still thought David was Mike till tags went up. I don't think they look alike at all.
Maybe it's just like because we're in the same. Like if you were making a character from scratch, David and I's defaults would be relatively similar. Like we're not that far apart on the character creator slider. Maybe I'm not sure.
I guess maybe because like, I guess if you just tune into YouTube and you're not familiar with everybody, the Humanist Report and the Rational National do feel like they could be a similar in like content. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean,
I'm not
we
saying
have
you guys
nearly
look
identical
alike.
politics. We're both white guys with basic white guy names. We have a similar delivery, I think. That's a little bit more laid back. I mean, it's hard to say.
Binder or Bust 9960. Welcome. Became a supporter on YouTube. Became a YouTube member.
Wow.
Thank you so much. What a very specific username you've committed
Bust.
to for the rest of your YouTube. I appreciate that. Narrator with a member for 36 months super chat. Bernie Sanders is a Zionist, right? And I think that's another point. Like, if Zionist is a deal breaker, then you can't really support Bernie or Brad Lander. I mean, I feel like you need to also add in that he's not like a right-wing Zionist. I think I would prefer no Zionists. I'd prefer anti-Zionists. But I don't know. I guess I live in a world where I can't always get that. And you got to support people who are with you on 99% of the issues.
I mean, yeah, Bernie's a liberal Zionist, which is awful, but objectively speaking, he is one of the best senators, if not the best senator on the issue of Israel-Palestine. It sucks that the bar is in hell, but that's where we're at. So, you take
Oh, and Ashley says Bernie ain't no Zionist. I'm sorry to say, and I say this is a Bernie.
Yeah, he is a Zionist.
He is. If you need to know what the definition of Zionist is, I think.
Yeah.
So other people are shocked. Grit says, "How is Bernie a Zionist?" LOL. Because he believes in the Israel, the project of Israel
as a Jewish state, in particular, an ethno state.
Yes.
To be clear.
Yes.
Yeah, he believes that in his own words.
I think people are mistaken to the fact that Zionism doesn't just mean that you're Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL.
Yeah. And to be clear, Bernie has come a long way on this issue. If you go back to 2014, those of us old head Bernie bros, we were pulling out our hair during the 2014 Gaza massacre that Israel did, because Bernie was getting confronted about it at town halls, and he straight up was like, Israel has the right to defend itself. Like, I shit you not. So he's come a long fucking way. He really has.
Like this is an example of and someone said I can't find it anymore. I don't remember. I don't want to paraphrase either because it was specific, but this is an example of you need to go with someone who votes in the way that you want and not what's in their heart, because Bernie Sanders in his heart believes in a Jewish state of Israel, and he's done things. Although his more recent votes have not reflected this. He's someone who also advocated for that with his role in Congress. He was not that great on the Israel-Palestine issue up until, I would say, 2015, 2016, and still to this day, he's not great on it. He's just better than he was.
Yeah, and comparatively speaking, he's good because everybody else is absolute dog shit. Although that's starting to change slowly but surely. Okay, who's next here? Is it Tokyo Han's Gifted? I think I could be out of order though.
Yeah. Tokyo Hans with 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. The Breaker of Walls with a super chat. Point, Matt. We have to show grace that people can change, or we aren't leftist. Yeah, I mean that's what I believe, and I understand the people.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that for sure.
I also agree with the fact, though, that you need to show that you've changed, and you can't just jump right into a major election and expect people to trust you.
Yeah.
I think there are different levels of how people of trust, and I think no one is wrong or right for feeling that way. People probably go off that based on their experience, and I think a lot of times we think of negative experiences, because those are the ones that usually probably affect you the most, which is why you don't trust people. But there's probably people who do trust people because they've done so before, and it turned out the person that they believe changed actually did, and so they have a reason to trust as well. The Bay Photo says, so how about Trump meddling in the World Cup? LOL. I do think, listen, I don't think the U.S. team was great. I think they had their worst game ever. This U.S. team, I'm not saying the worst game ever for U.S., but this U.S. team had their worst game ever in terms of at least the World Cup tournament. I do think the Trump thing got to their heads. I think when you have the entire world chiming in, especially if you are a player in the game and you see other players, other coaches, some of which you might play with and be your teammates at the club level when you're playing outside the World Cup, that without a doubt has to affect you. Where they're talking about how the U.S. is cheating and shit, and you're on the team. I never want to hear a Republican say again that an athlete should shut up and just dribble or just stick to sports. When the opposite happened, the politician waded into sports issues that they should not have waded into, and had an effect on the players that without a doubt affected the outcome of the game. Would the U.S. have won otherwise? Who knows? I don't think so. But would they have had such a poor showing on the field to the point where it was embarrassing? I find that possible, but also hard to believe. I think that without a doubt mess with their heads. Okay. I mean, look how Belgium was celebrating after their fourth goal. They were doing the Trump dance to make fun of the U.S. They were without a doubt emboldened by it. They were playing like, we're going to show these fucking Yankees what's up.
Okay, who's next?
Narrator says being a leftist is being right too soon. You were not right soonest here. Pay your grandma flesh and say 40 Karl Marxes. Narrator, I get what you're saying. I think, I'm not as over the top as you are, but I think, I think you know where I am on this. Hunty Money with a super chat. Zed Jelani was a literal Nazi's biggest cheerleader because she was grifting about Israel MTG. Boy, please, we saw you glaze for obvious. Oh, okay. This was the one that.
Oh, so they weren't mistaken.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This was real. Yeah.
Well, I did not see him glaze Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would have made fun of him for that.
He made numerous raps. He made numerous raps. Actually, I remember. What's his thing called? The freestyle the news. He did numerous freestyles where he's talking about, oh, MTG's my girl, yo. She's the best in the world.
We should ask him. Do you remember that Forgiato Blow song about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Maybe he produced that. We should ask him.
Yes, he did produce that. Yep.
Okay.
You down with MTG? Yeah, you know me. You down with MTG?
We've reached the delirious point in the super chats. We haven't gone this long in a while, so we're both going to be so fucking delirious by the time this is over. We still have not gone below 100, by the way, just FYI.
Oh my God. Bro, we just hit below 100. That was it. We got 99 super chats left.
It shows 101 for me, so...
I got 99 problems, and a super chat is literally all 99 of them.
Do you have any more?
I have one more, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got a few more. Sorry, my bad. Red Jack 75 with the $10 super chat. Gonna say it, the majority report needs to eat a hell of a lot more crow for shoving that guy in our faces the last 6 months. They need to issue some real apologies as well. No, listen, everyone's gonna say I'm just biased because I'm on the show and I know Emma and everything. Was I as out front? I mean, I don't even know if we discussed this over and over again. I think that there should have been a little bit more caution. I didn't go out there on a limb for him. I said people should vote for him because he's going to be the guy. I said people should vote for him in the primary because he was the most leftist candidate. I was cautious about the constant flow of things. I thought the Nazi tattoo, I get why it was a big deal, but I felt like his rhetoric did not reflect that he was a secret Nazi. But the other stuff I was cautious about. It's funny because everyone focused on the Nazi tattoo, and I thought that was not the big deal at all. And I say that as someone who covers Nazi, like that's literally how it was my whole was known for covering right-wing reactionary groups, neo-Nazis, white supremacists. I've interviewed many experts in that field. I've interviewed people who were preyed upon and became Nazi skinheads and came out of it. I knew exactly that type of person, and that's why I had a good feeling that sort of descriptor for Plattner was inaccurate. But the other stuff I was cautious about. So that's why you won't find any videos of me really talking about him besides the Nazi tattoo stuff, because that's my area of knowledge.
Okay, who's next?
But I mean, Maine liked the guy and liked his politics, and that's where we had to deal with. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that other than, I guess a little less, going in for someone, a little bit more straightforward. Listen, this is the guy based on how things are going, and this is why you should support him or at least vote for him if you're in Maine. We get your criticisms, but this is the way things are going right now, and this is the choice that we have. This is the lesser of two evils, even if you want to describe it as that. But he's not running anymore. I think that's it for me, unless I got some new. Oh wait, C. DeGenemer says unionizing my workplace, real you electrolysis. They're bouncing our paychecks and union busting. We've been walking out at Lakewood's location. Very good, nice. Oh wait, I got one more. I got 3 more new ones that came in through the bottom.
Okay, I couldn't find the Jinmer one, but
don't worry about it. It was really old. Well, I'll start at the bottom again.
Okay.
Goofy Goober Prime with $10 super chat. Your reply warmed my heart. I was torn watching Norway, Brazil, but as a Norwegian, I'm greatly enjoying this World Cup, especially seeing Norway fans showing their cultural silliness in Times Square. All for I can't speak Norwegian, but I like Norway. I thought they. I'm a fan of anyone who hasn't won before. I would like to see a new team win. Also, I know a lot of people hate Argentina, but I really do like Messi. I think very rarely do you see someone who's called the best who actually hands down is the best. And I say this as someone who cheers against who jeers him and roots against him because he's on Inter Miami in MLS, and I am an NYCFC fan, and I have to boo him when NYCFC plays them. But completely no bias. Messi is that good, and so I would like to see him play another World Cup because I think he's got it in him. And I think if he loses, if he doesn't go the whole way, I think there's less of a reason for him to do it again. And if Argentina does win, though, I think he's almost certainly going to go for one more because he wants to tie Pele's record of 3 World Cup wins. That's just my insane view of things. But if it's down to Norway, Argentina, I'm rooting for Norway, but would also be happy if Argentina wins. Maz says Argentina is the only non-European country left. Well, I would say to many people that's debatable about them being non-European. If anything, Argentina is the most European South American country left. Listen, if you were against Plattner because of the Nazi tattoo, then you definitely cannot support Argentina. All right, let's go to Emily Schmidt with a super chat. I just paid to say that I love Mike and Binder banter. Don't apologize for talking so much. Highlight of my week. Thank you, Emily.
Well, thank you. Sometimes I feel like we're delirious, or I am at least.
And shit, not you again with the super chat. I'm stuck at work tonight. Holy shit, what a clusterfuck. You talking about work or this show?
Oh, this one. Okay. Different one. Here we go. Okay. Is that all you have, Matt? Because I'll start going.
Yeah, that's all for me.
I'll go as fast as I can. We have 98 So I will go as fast as I possibly can because I want to try to read all of them. I'm getting tired. So, okay. The Grand Regent of Viltrum, $10. Thank you. I can see the future. I see fire, mayhem, and upheaval in the late 2020s. Something, I don't know what, will make our society explode like a nuke. The 2030s and 40s, however, are going to be very bright. Well, thank you for the doomer yet optimistic ending to that. Douche, thanks for the 10. Mike, check out Nathan Ong Norris, who is a DSA member running for Multnomah County Commissioner District 2 this upcoming November in Oregon. I will check him out. Okay, cool. Max Pokebra says Blackwater, the tattoo, and him lying about being a working class should have been disqualifying. His dad is a lawyer and his granddad was an architect. Totally agree.
I mean, I think being an oyster farmer or whatever, I think that's working class. It's not maybe. I mean, it's also a blue collar job too. I was about to say it might not be a blue collar job, but I'm sorry if you are using your labor in some way. I think the definition of working class is very. Some people's definition of working class is very outdated, and it only serves, I think, to further give fuel to the wealthy to further divide people. Like there are people who consider like a teacher not to be working class because it's not a blue collar job, and I mean that's ridiculous.
I think the point is that he's more they really played up this idea that he was like this poverty-stricken kid who's poverty drafted, when in actuality his family was much more like wealthier. But I don't know enough about that. But no, yeah, I see your point too. Thank you, Tyler, for being a member for 42 months. Really appreciate that. Seven Cyclops says Maynard here voted for Plattner. If we aren't given a policy aligned replacement, a majority of us will be sitting out general election. Yeah, and I don't blame you for that, honestly. Anupam says, not to be rude, but you remember when I sent Mike a super chat last week saying Plattner should drop out, and half the chat called me a dunce. Oops. Tropical Ding Dong says McConnell remaining technically alive for an extra 3 weeks because of a cheap procedural maneuver is exactly how he would have wanted to go out. 1,000%. Wanda, thanks for the 20. I want to publicly thank you for defending black and brown leftists who came under attack by white leftists for not endorsing Plattner. Public apologies owed to Chris Rabb for the attacks he endured. Love to you, Mike. Well, thank you so much, Wanda. I appreciate that. Yeah, Chris Rabb was dragged pretty hard, and I really felt bad for him.
Wait, what happened? What did he do?
I think that he was getting shit for not endorsing Plattner, because he kind of like voiced the same criticisms that like some of us are voicing, and yeah,
I mean, I think it was smart politics to just not say anything. Honestly,
yeah, and that was kind of his position. He was sitting it out because he had endorsed.
I mean, AOC was asked.
AOC
was asked, and she just said she didn't wade into that race. I mean, that was a smart thing to do.
Yeah. It was like, hey, you're endorsing Darla, so why wouldn't you endorse him? And that it was like,
that was sort of my own personal way of touching on it. It was not something I wanted to really talk about. Aside from that whole aspect about whether he was a Nazi or whatever, because again, that was an area where I was knowledgeable about.
Yeah. Degenmer, thank you so much for the member chat. Unionizing my work, real you electrosis. We're bouncing our paychecks and union busting. We've been walking out at Lakewood's location. That is awesome. Power to you. All the support in the world to you. Unknown, thanks for the £5. Count Bin Face got more votes than Reform in the London mayor election. Also, if you want a good laugh, look up official monster raving loony. I will. The UK, they're always up to some shenanigans. I love it. ABS says, do you think Graham dropping out will lead to a new progressive or establishment Democrat replacing him? Has the left lost credibility because of this? I think that he's going to get replaced. I hope that it's Troy Jackson based on what I know so far, which is little. He seems cool. He supports Medicare for all. Don't know about other policies. In terms of credibility, I think the credibility will be strained with a lot of leftists of color. I hope that can be rebuilt in the future. And I think that's possible, hopefully, if there is some introspection. Anupam says Susan Collins has a negative 17 approval rating in a D+10 state. Just the boring normal Dem would have won. Oh well, hope Jackson or Bellows is the nominee. Yeah,
but that's not true though. That's not true either because Mills was polling badly against Collins.
Oh, fair point. Yeah, fair point.
It's not true. It's just not. Maine was clearly.
They need a progressive. Like, I mean, people. It's not just about Plattner. People clearly wanted progressive policies. So they need to have some sort of democratic process where that is facilitated, where they can choose somebody who is progressive that supports the policies that Plattner supported. John,
Bad idea. Bad idea. I hate to do this. Bad idea. Society says Binder would probably get this, but when the Harris twins would come out on TNA, people would go nuts about their Nazi gear. I hadn't a clue about that stuff at the time, right? And their Nazi gear was literally the SS symbol, and even that one, like the only universally like recognized Nazi symbol for the vast majority of people is the swastika. I know everyone in this chat will start yelling, but what about this one and this one and this one? You got to leave this political bubble that we're in, where we know what the insignias and the logos and their wink winks and their not so subtle wink winks either. We know, but most people would only recognize the swastika. I mean, that's why the right started using the black sun. And remember that Ron DeSantis video? A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. No, yeah, Americans are not very savvy when it comes to these things. Our education sucks. I'm reading this comment is funny from Johnny. No offense, but have you noticed that people with glasses tend to be unhinged? Jimmy Dore, Michael Tracy, Matt Walsh, Benny Johnson, James Carville. I carry the weight of all glasses people on my shoulders, man. It's lonely. That's a good point you bring up. I will try to not be unhinged as a glasses wearing person. And I'm getting new glasses. Hopefully they should come in tomorrow. So maybe they'll make me appear less unhinged. Okay. Gorgonzola says, wanted to shout out a candidate running in my legislative district here in Southern AZ who was endorsed by Tucson DSA, Miranda Lopez, for LD21. Hell yeah. Thank you for shouting her out. Fargonaut, Mike and Lance, if either of you were in a snoring contest, which of you would be loud? I don't know. I've never slept next to Lance. And Mike,
I gotta say, I read that first as snorting contest, and I was gonna say, what the fuck were you guys talking about before I got on the show?
I feel like
what were you guys talking about?
My brain is such like mashed potatoes right now that like everything is gonna make me laugh. So I apologize if I have the giggles, but that's funny. And Mike, since you said you nose snore, were you told what it sounded like? It'd be funny. Do you mouth snore too? I don't know. You are so obsessed with snoring, Fargana, and I find it fascinating. I'm wondering what your fascination is with snoring. It's peculiar, but it's funny. It's funny. It's endearing. Not really. Rachel Atwood says, I'll campaign for whoever in Maine, hopefully TJ, Troy Jackson. Yeah. Narrator, caveat, I'm not claiming any Plattner evidence is false. I believe he needs to drop out. There's a lesson about response to earlier red flags, period. Chicken Warrior, I hate seeing all the, thanks for the 10. I hate seeing all the left wing and fighting over Plattner thing. The Republicans are destroying the world, but instead of uniting and trying to get past all this to take back the Senate, we're fighting. We're fighting, but I think that it's a necessary fight to be had. I think that these things are important. We have to hash it out to move forward. I do believe that. Meta says,
I didn't even know people were fighting, honestly. I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, this podcast is probably not the best example. I feel like, we got like passionate, but we were really like, but like in general,
I've seen the fight online I've seen has been like moderate Dems, like near attendant, like I brought up before, trying to use this to attack the left. That's all I've seen. I haven't seen any real left on left fighting. Maybe those few weirdos who are trying to like defend him against these allegations. But that's about it. And those people deserve to be roundly.
I've still seen a lot of people defending
criticized
from the rape, which is just.
I haven't seen that. I've just seen like a handful.
It's a lot more like contained and niche. It's in like comment sections, but you still see a lot of people. So yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's the majority, thankfully. Anyways, Meta says they dummy mandered Texas. I sure hope so. Octawolf says gas is $3.69 in Texas before Trump was elected. It was $2.30. Oh wow, that's quite the jump. Chicken Warrior, thanks for the 10. Like I see progressives doing the "I told you so" and corpo Democrats trying to use this as a way to destroy progressive politics. We will never win unless we stick together. Plattner is just one guy. I totally agree on your broader point. I hope that like my points don't come across as "I told you so," because again, I have fucked up countless times and have had to be humbled. It's just a matter of like we have to hold each other accountable because we all have different perspectives, different blind spots, different lived experiences, and I feel like it's really important that if we see one of our own kind of like failing morally, then we call them out. I hope that people would still like keep that same energy with me. I'm like, I don't plan on quitting this, so at some point I'm going to fuck up. We're all human beings. We're all going to fuck up. So we just have to try to take criticism, take it on the chin, let it roll off our shoulders and not get offended, but absorb the good information and the good faith criticism from allies. Because if we don't do that, we turn into TYT where we crash out from criticism. We don't want to do that. So
You know what, Mike? Fuck you. Okay, fuck you.
Suck my balls, Binder. Not really Rachel Atwood. Count Binface for MP of Clacton on the Sea. Narrator. But and thanks for the 10. But it is still true that I'm slurring my words. Oh my God, I'm so tired. That the beneficiaries are billionaires, the surveillance state, both political parties and IDF and the corporate media. Narrator, thanks. Or Tokyo, thanks for being a member for 29 months. Appreciate that. Psychedelic, thanks for the 10. I genuinely think there needs to be for some form of self-critique on the American left for letting Plattner get as far as he could, and how that happened. Black leftists have been warning about this. Yeah, I totally agree, 100%.
But this is where I disagree. How? Let him get as far as we go with leftists should have gone to Maine and campaigned against Plattner. Like the people, like the reason Plattner got to where he was because the people of Maine supported him. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it.
I think maybe what they meant is that instead of like maybe not letting him get this far, not jumped on the bandwagon and rode as hard and defended every single thing. Maybe that's kind of I think
if that's what they mean, then okay, yes.
Because I agree. Like the left, generally speaking, most of us had no control. We weren't in Maine, but I agree with the overall point that we just need to take into account voices of people who kind of get drowned out in this space because it's a mostly like white dominated space, and I think that we can learn a lot from each other, especially people who have different experiences than us. So like that was kind of like the overall point that they were making. I think that I definitely agree with. Narrator, thanks for the 10. Is it true the beneficiaries have unfathomable power? It is true. I'm sorry. It is true they have a history of using false allegations of SA in the aftermath of October 7th and have been silent on systemic SA on IDF prisons. But yeah, that's not the case of Graham Plattner. I know that's not what you're implying, but just to be clear, in case anybody thinks that's not the case with Graham Plattner. His girlfriend did not work for Israel. She's just a regular-ass American woman who lives in Maine. Tokyo Hans, Halloween in 3 months. Can you dress like Pierre Polyev or just dress like it regularly to try to trick people into thinking you are Canadian? Maybe I will. DJ Yankees says Victor Marx is somehow less embarrassing than our current Redditor-in-Chief, Jared Polis. You may be right. I didn't think about that. Unknown says you should have Mr. Cody Dollar on. He's hilarious. He does short-form videos on UK politics. Very funny. We'll look into him. Chicken Warrior says the Dem Party has to let the people of Maine choose his replacement or we are cooked. They liked Plattner's policies at the end of the day, but the Dems will mess it up probably because they hate the left. 1000% agree with you. Yeah, this cannot be some top-down thing. It has to be a democratic solution. That's one thing I think all of us can agree on with regard to the Plattner situation. Philip says, character informs policy. You can't separate that. Olivia says, the New York Times article describes abuse. What? Snappy says, Matt just said there's no way of being able to predict this would happen to call with 4 people who predicted this would happen. Angel says, Maine liking him doesn't mean leftists should have backed him. Pendulous Dragon, thank you for being a member for 32 months. Tej says, Mike, you named Anna. Why not Majority Report? They were fanboys through and through and gaslit listeners and viewers who were calling out the patterns. I think this is probably before I did name Majority Report people, but yeah, I have no problem criticizing them. I would hope that they would also criticize me if they felt like I was in the wrong. I feel like I respect them and they respect me enough to be able to do that. So yeah. Bayphoto says, had you been holding back since bowing out of the Plattner discourse last fall because you unleashed your full thoughts in your video? Loved it. I have been holding back, if I'm being honest, because it's really hard to. It was just futile. Resistance was futile, and in the event, I was able to be successful. Then it's like, what do I accomplish? I hate Plattner, but if I was able to take him down, then I'm doing the bidding of Susan Collins. I'm just the useful idiot. So it really felt like a no-win situation. It was really, really frustrating. But yeah, I was holding back. I was definitely holding back until this week. Thank you for being a member for 2 years, Tony. Appreciate you. Justin says, some chatters on here are missing the point by just attacking Matt and David, thinking you guys are attacking them when that's not what's happening. This is a learning experience for many of us. Yeah, I hope that it didn't come up. And I don't think that Matt and David would think we were, or hope that they don't think that we were attacking them. That at least wasn't my goal. We just have disagreements, and we have to it was important to hash it out. And I feel like our disagreements aren't even that far in the end, like when it comes down to it. Lux says Binder and Dole's behavior right now is the only reason why POC leftists like us are so fed up right now. I don't want to call them out. I don't think that they were the biggest offenders on the Plattner thing, but want to move on from that. Octo says, I'm working to save and fix Texas. Hey, good on you. Tropical Ding Dong says, I think Zed is wrong. If main DNC selects a Zionist centrist, it sinks leftist politics. Narrator says, I appreciate that Plattner being a white man. Closer to that, the more you get to speak, but maybe that's the problem. LOL JK, but serious. Laugh, y'all. Chris, this convo is democracy at work. Fine job, my friends. Yeah. Jeremy says, we have to hold our own to a higher standard before we hold opponents to any standard. Agree. Rachel Atwood says he was a TMBS fan. It's hard to attack your own. Yeah, absolutely fair point. Chicken Warrior says, I honestly don't think any of this would change until we have a true, robust leftist grassroots organizations and civic leaders working together. Fair point. Spot says, I feel dumb for believing in and betrayed by Plattner. Rough day. It happens to everybody, man. It's happened to me hundreds. If you've been watching Human's Report since 2015, you've seen me eat shit a million times. Again, and I was a Jimmy Dore friend.
I think that's a problem, though. You shouldn't feel that way. Honestly, you shouldn't. Because then you just tap out. Just never trust anyone again. You can't see into the future. And the fact that when the situation changed, you changed your views. I mean, that's how things work. You're not a soothsayer. This isn't the Ides of March. You're not, no one's telling you, Caesar, beware the Ides of March. It's just not how it works.
And I promise you, if I could take back so many things I've said on camera, I probably would. My views have, it's not that they've changed radically over the years, but just decisions I've made, things that I've covered, I would have changed a lot. So we just do the best that we can, man. That's all that we can do. We do the best that we can. Hooligan says Anna got harassed by Jimmy Dore and kept quiet for 4 years. Yeah, that happens. People don't necessarily feel comfortable coming out immediately. Jay says, hi guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of irritated with some commentators for not taking the L. If we can't be socially aware, then it kind of feels like we're not much better than MAGA. Yeah, and that's why I try my best to be introspective personally, because I don't want to be like MAGA. And I have family members who just will never, ever, ever admit that they're wrong. So I try my very best to hit that reset button on something I believe. I mean, listen, I was raised evangelical, right? So I had to hit the reset button on my entire life. So I have trained myself to try to question my own beliefs. And sometimes it's hard still, as objective as I try to be, it's hard to admit that you're wrong. We do the best we can, man. We're human. So, but yeah, I agree with your overall point. Narrator, we need consensus on general trajectory. This infighting will not accomplish utopia when everyone is on the same mind. Spirit, white fatigue is so real. All they need is a precious white man, mascot of masculinity, daddy figure. His apology video was classic abuse talk. Yeah, we didn't talk about his video. His video was dog shit, and it was really appropriate that there was some bird shit behind his shoulder. It was
didn't even watch it. I just needed to know he was dropping out. I don't give a shit about what he has to say.
Yeah, it's not worth watching that. It's 11 minutes of him not taking accountability, blaming the establishment for the allegation. It's just, you would just get infuriated by it. So I would don't watch. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. He drops out. He says he's dropping out at the 7-minute mark. That's all we need to know. Hunty says Zed pretending he didn't deride Nazi Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. Okay, that's funny. Jeremy Elwood says, Abdul, though, did you see the debate? Abdul, I did not see the whole debate. I've only seen clips. I do want to watch the full debate. I do have a video, though, about Abdul tomorrow. Based says, purity politics is why we'll never get any type of power. Between that and the lack of support for due process, we're going to have this combo forever. I don't think this is purity politics, but I respect your comment. Thank you. Snappy, I and probably most chatters here still love Binder, Emma, Kyle. Yeah, of course, you absolutely should. Kyle and Crystal, the reason we are roasting them is because we want them to be better. Yeah, I don't think there's any bad blood and any hate towards them. I think that part of it is like if somebody has a position you disagree with vehemently and you respect them so much, it's even harder, right? So yeah, no, I don't think that they would take criticism as hate for sure. Super duper full. Thanks for the 20. Cavernacle did a great video on Plattner with a lot of facts I didn't hear before. Mike was a welcome voice of reason to not feel insane about my reservations. Fuck Plattner for even thinking of running for office. Well, thank you for the chat. Spot says I should have known better and assumed with the Blackwater thing that he's a bit of a monster. Honestly ashamed of myself. Did not know the quotes you read till today either, so I need to research better. Terabyte says, it does seem like two convos, one where we as leftists make sure people like Plattner are not elected, and the second, what do we do when someone like Plattner is elected, the lesser of two evils? Yeah, good point. Jeremy Elwood, shush, said Zed Jabrani. I almost said Zoran. Ryan Chan, I defended Plattner having flashbacks about what happened to Alex Morse. The Dem machine framed Morse saying he had sexual misconduct / pedophilia, got progressives to circle fire. Obvious misjudgment. Not really Rachel Atwood. Plattner's trash, hands down. Recombat vets in Congress. How many polite centrist D's and R's have done unspeakable things in war and face no consequences? Jeremy Elwood says, how's Mitch? I'm worried about his health. Yeah, you and me both. Whew. Okay, we're almost there. Dirty Pirate, looking forward to Zed Tabani's Why Left the White Left video for being mixed up with Zed Jelani. Morton says, what should the role be for people that are skilled in violence within the left coalition? I can't think of any successful leftist movement that didn't accommodate soldiers, officers, and war vets. I think that Cabernacle made a great point. They should be helpful with the Socialist Rifle Association. They should teach people how to, shoot firearms, shit like that. That'd be a great role to play. That would actually be really helpful. Organizing, great role. Things like that. Octawolf, I did a baggage search for me online and found nothing, so that's why I'm getting ready for a future run in the Texas State Legislature. Well, hey, good for you, man. Adrian says, please, guys, it's Rebecca, I missed her. She wasn't able to come on tonight. She might come on next week. I'm not sure, though. But she'll be back at some point for sure. The Breaker of Walls. I, too, spoke to Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes on the phone today. He said, pass Medicare for all. That sounds like something you'd say. Comrade Girl says, what has been McConnell's status? Why has it been so secretive? I'm sorry about that. Does this secretive nature imply anything? Also, the ending of the memorial video got to me. I think it does. I think the secretive nature does imply something, for sure. Fly Chomper Fly, Mike sent you an email, re-perspective on McConnell. Okay, I'll try to remember to check that out. Lennon Lover, you guys should have Tennessee Brondo on as a guest. I will look into Tennessee Brondo. I'm not familiar with them. Reject says, in happier news, I'll be canvassing signatures with ESDSA down south this weekend for the Eugene Clean Energy Fund modeled after the same in Portland. Everyone get organized in your community. Hell yes, good for you. Soul Aperture says, cocaine Mitch, never forget. Ryan Chan says, disgusting that Neera Tanden has been implying El Sayed is involved with sexual misconduct and trying to lump with Plattner. That's exactly what my video about tomorrow is about. Her and Sarah Hayes doing that. Chris Corcoran says Fetterman needs the STFU about Plattner. Just because Plattner is trash doesn't mean the Zionist ogre ass Breaking Bad reject isn't also trash. 1000%. Cartoon, thoughts on the Xbox layoff week after the PS drama? Man, I'm just sad. I'm tired. The video game industry is such a fucking dumpster fire. Jeremy Elwood, wow, $100. I think this might be for Ariana. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, Jeremy, that is incredibly kind. If you send this to me or Ariana, I think it's to Ariana. Just checking here. Yeah, this is to Ariana, I want to say. So thank you so much. That's really kind. She would be so thankful. To Ariana, we've large Persian community here. Ex-fiance was Persian, fell in love with her, the food, the culture, the people. Don't know if you have family in Iran. If so, no, I'm wishing you and yours safety. Groma Sabzi tonight and then saw you here. It made me reflect. Thank you for that. Justin, thanks for the 20. Since the Plattner fallout, I feel like some on the left are become too focused on outing each other. People should feel vindicated, but case in point, I didn't support him, but people saying I'm not a leftist because I won't dunk on leftists. I don't think it's about feeling vindicated. I think that people just would like others to understand what the contention was and what the real what the disconnect was. That's what I think it is. That's at least like for me. I really want people to understand my perspective and what I'm trying to argue and why I think it was valid to take the red flags seriously. Angel, here's $5. Find Satan instead. I will. Thank you. Hail Satan. Snappy says, Ariana had a great point earlier. I'm worried that a lot of leftists I respect and love will feel principled. They dropped Plattner now, not introspective on how to not have to do that in the future. Yeah, I hope that everybody's introspective. I myself am trying to be introspective as a result of this entire kerfuffle because I think there's a lot of really important lessons we can learn. Old Men in Philly, can we turn over all vetting of candidates to the DSA now? That would be nice because they very clearly know what they're doing. Whoopster says, I'm sorry, Ariana, I forgot this is the left where everyone is right too early. Googly Moogly says the idea of the white U.S. leftists being different from international left POC is correct. Can't criticize Amber Heard, Taylor Swift, Ukraine applauding a Nazi. Plattner was the white hero they wanted. Fernando says, not excusing Plattner, but I'm sick of how this only matters when the establishment wants it to matter, and when it's progressives, it matters so much that they try to discredit the whole movement. Old Man in Philly says, thanks for caring about blind spots. They're important to recognize. Yeah, for sure. And I am always trying to address mine as well, because you're never not going to have blind spots if you're a human being. So you just got to try to address them. Cartoon says, thoughts on the anti-woke still doubling down on bashing the Odyssey. Well, the film is getting great early buzz. Do you think it will fail? I think the film's probably going to do well. I have no idea, but if I had to guess, it'd do well. But I'm going to go see it just to spite the right. Cartoon says, I mean, with the film getting great buzz, not will. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't care what the right says anymore. They've rehashed this playbook of being offended, woke this, woke that. I don't give a shit anymore. They're just farting in the wind at this point. I don't think anybody even cares. Vic says, Mike, you were cooking in my opinion. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope that other people found my points compelling and it didn't just sound like I was screeching insufferably. Synapse, thanks for being a new member. Reaching the end, everybody. Sorry. Cartoon. Also, thoughts on soccer team get the Trump curse? I mean, listen, the Knicks curse, the Trump curse, the soccer curse. Yeah, Trump can't interfere. If Trump's there, they're going to lose. That's just it's a law of nature now. Jeremy, thanks for the gifted membership. Appreciate that. And Kowalski, the Mafia got a little Goodfellas tonight. Matt, if Mike invites you to a cabin upstate, just be careful. Narrator, Jasmine Crockett was bad. Okay, I paid money to say it. You are speaking over. Okay, this was the one that was already read. Jay Steinheimer, super sticker. Thank you so much. Shit, not you again. This felt like a kid trapped in divorce court. Ouch. Bigamio. Matt, did you debate on of the primary gamer? Oh, one of the primary Gamergate supporters on air. Was it Sargon of Akkad?
I don't think I ever debated Sargon of Akkad. That was Michael Brooks. He debated Sargon. I don't remember who I debated. I know I debated Paul Elam, who is a very prominent men's rights activist.
Okay.
But I'm trying to remember who else. I can't remember, but I definitely didn't. I don't think Sargon of Akkad definitely made 4 or 5 videos about me. So maybe that's what you saw. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know this lore. Tokyo, thanks for the 1,000 yen. I think the Mike and David confusion is due to their channel names, color scheme. It's easy to mix it up. I am guilty of it. I also always get confused between Matt and Ariana, though. I mean, that makes sense. They do have a lot of similarities as well. They both have brown hair. No, I love that.
We both lust over Kowalski.
Yes. But I think that's a fair point about David and I's channels. Same color schemes and stuff like that, like the white background with the text. I don't think that that's too big of a stretch to like mix this up. Sometimes I'll get mixed up with Kyle. It's more David, but sometimes I get a Kyle too. Taco Face Fart. I hope the new candidate is hot. Don't we all? Emily, Mike, have you seen the Canadian lib commentator Josh Bond? He looks like a Canadian centrist version of you, Mr. Josh Bond. I'll check him out. I haven't seen that person. Omega Star, just dipping in for a sec. Hey, nice to see you. Damn, Omega gifted 50 memberships to Ariana. That is crazy. I'm gonna take a picture so that way she can see this, because she's gonna lose her shit. That's insane. Thank you so much for doing that, Omega. She's really gonna appreciate that. Drayden says, everyone who dismissed the NYT article owes apologies, myself included. I uncritically listened to the wrong voices about the first allegations, lost my way.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you need to. No, I'm sorry.
This one says, to paraphrase a TERF's writings, it takes a great deal of courage to defend against your enemies, but it takes a great deal more to defend against your friends. Yeah, very, very fair point. Alexis says, being a mercenary is worse than being a vet. Psychedelic says, okay, there's a clarification. Well, you don't have to send more for clarification. I'm sorry. What I mean is the bandwagon shit. There were also a lot of red flags with like Blackwater, but I wasn't saying we should go up to Maine or anything. Let's not be silly. I know he because of his policies. Yeah, okay. So that's what I figured you were saying as well. Bayphoto says, talk to Mitch for exactly 20 minutes. He says he's not coming out of hiding until you return his calls, Mike. He just wants to talk for like 20 minutes. I'm not going to call him back. So that's it, everybody. We did it. We got through every single super chat. My throat is dry. I feel like I'm going to die, but we did it. It's tough work. Who are we going to raid?
Let's see. Oh, I forgot all about Twitch. I don't even have it open on my computer. I wonder if I have Twitch. I have Twitch. Joey Bag of Donuts, resubscriber, Prime subscriber for 19 months. Just got off the phone with Mitch. I just think that was funnier than any of the other ones that had like a long, like creative idea. Just got off the phone with Mitch alone is way funnier to me for some reason.
Oh, so we should raid actual Jake. He's on still.
All right, let's do that.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so
much.
much.
Everyone, great show tonight. I had a lot of fun.
I did too.
I appreciate all of you, even those of you who disagree with me, and that's totally fine. It's okay to disagree with me. Have a good night.
You all take care.
Oh, wait. I forgot to press the start raid button. 1 second. Okay. Otherwise, I think if you press it, it'll... You guys have no idea how much it took me to just sit back and not talk when Mike was reading those super chats. I was really... It was... I was using... Some of you might have saw I was like back here. I purposely sat that way to keep away from the microphone so I could just... not go off on every comment.
It's hard because we're both very opinionated and people bring up points that are awesome that you want to respond to, but also sometimes maybe we don't necessarily agree. So it is hard, but yeah, we had so much. We just couldn't. Hopefully people understand. I'm ready, by the way, to raid whenever you are. It's queued up for me.
Oh, it's I'm pressing raid now.
All right, everybody. We will see you next Thursday. You all take care.